ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Talking Madness. And this year is the year of 2021. We are back and it's a new year. Your normal hosts are here as always, Azza, Lee Simmons, and Darryl Richardson. Lads, it's a new year. It's 2021. How are we?
Hey guys, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Dale.
Happy New Year, Dale.
Yeah, I mean,
You all right?
everyone was expecting everything just to go straight back to normal or something as soon as clock hit 5 o'clock on like January the 1st, but obviously it didn't. But hopefully we're getting a bit closer to it. You know what I mean?
Just imagine if like that happened at like stroke of midnight 2020, and like COVID disappeared, everything just disappeared in 2021, like it was just something that just happened and just like, whoop, there we go, 2021 guys, back to normal. Need to work.
That would be a dream.
It would have been a dream. It would have been.
It would have been.
But I guess we should say Happy New Year to the Galaxy.
Absolutely. Happy New Year to the CPW Galaxy.
I mean, what do we call the people who are watching us, like the asylums? I don't know. Talking Madness asylums. I don't know. Inmates.
The inmates.
Yeah.
Anyway, Happy New Year to everyone watching us right now, live on YouTube. Again, we appreciate you joining us live here on Sunday. And obviously, for this to keep happening, remember to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Coventry Pro Wrestling. Follow us on demand. Make sure you're always getting notification on what's going on with Coventry Pro Wrestling, because I can guarantee you 2021 has only just started and it's going to be another big year for CPW, Coventry Pro Wrestling. And that's so, Lee.
Oh, it will be, mate. How many shows did we do last year? It was 33, was it?
33.
Yeah, 33. So this year we're going to beat that. We're going to do as many as we can, as many as we can in front of a live crowd, but failing that, as many as we can, in front of the camera, live streaming for you guys. Definitely.
So what I want to know, first of all, though, obviously it was a different kind of New Year's Eve to any before, maybe any in the future. But I still want to know what our many fans watching us tonight did for New Year's Eve this year. How did you celebrate the end of 2020, the year that everyone wants to forget? And how did you welcome in the new year, 2021? What did you guys go to?
Me, I was sneaked barrels of gunpowder under Parliament, just waiting.
Yeah. Didn't tell me about that. I'll come with you with that one.
I know, Dale, but I thought you'd be too busy getting drunk as usual.
I wish I was, mate. I wish I was.
You know what you like with your apple sours.
I don't know what you mean, mate. I do not know what you mean.
I know.
Lee was definitely drunk. Nobody by asking him.
Lee's not even sober.
I went round the missus. She made some food. We had some drinks. Watched the fireworks at the end of the night. It was nice.
Oh, that's good then.
Good for you. Good. Glad you had a good night.
Good for you.
Good for you,
sarcastic that was.
I don't know why it was so sarcastic. I don't know why it came across so sarcastic. Like, good for you. Like, no one cares about you now. Go away.
Wait. I mean, all we know at Nathan, what time was you up to in the morning? Playing on PlayStation? What time was it? 4 or 5 in the morning?
That's 6 a.m. I came off the PlayStation online with the.
That's what he was doing
with the lads.
Guys, do you remember that, playing the PlayStation like all night with your mates, and then everything changed when you lost your virginity?
What's Nathan's excuse then?
So Aaron, quickly then, what's being said on YouTube then? What have they been doing for New Year's Eve?
Just getting drunk by the looks of it, most than anything. Shannon Warwood says she was getting drunk. I've got to say, our mate from India's there. Has shortened it to AA. He says Dale he's waiting for Dale's Christmas present. He wants your Christmas present off your Dale, yeah. And he says, Lee, you remind him of Spyro the dragon with that vape.
Yeah, I've been called worse. I don't mind that. I have offered my services as a smoke machine to CPW, but they haven't taken me up on that as of yet. So
No, mate, because you got asthma halfway through it. We're here. You're like, you know what I mean? But oh my god, what's that? Smoke machine's broke.
It would sound like a smoke machine just dying underneath the ring
Yeah.
or something. What's that?
Something wrong with that smoke machine. And plus, where would you
Hang on,
put your beers?
Someone's just passed that smoke machine and inhaler. What's going on?
Where would you put your beers?
well, that's true. That's
You know what
true.
I mean? You've got to think of
That's
these
right.
things, mate.
You got to plan ahead, mate.
And plus, you know, we're professional. You know, we're not like a company from down the road.
So I think we should talk about, obviously, the first show back after the Christmas break, shall we say. The first show of 2021 for Talking Madness. And I think we're starting off with an absolute banger with a guest and a half. Because obviously
Absolutely.
those who haven't read or don't know who the guest is, I'm not sure what you were reading before you click the link, but hey, we're going to tell you anyway. Our guest tonight is none other than the longest ever CPW lineal heavyweight champion. He is the chosen one. He is CPW's head trainer. He is Will Starr. Now, what a guest, guys, to have first show back. What are we thinking? Are we excited?
Of course. How can you not be excited with Will Starr in the mix? You know what I mean? I mean, apart from, like, me and Aaron, like, we owe a lot of our, you know, like, wrestling, like, time to Will. Obviously, I had trainers before, but yeah, Will's definitely my favourite trainer I've had. And I've learned so much from him. So it's going to be good to have him on the podcast, have him talking to the guys and learning a bit more about him.
In the words of Gabrielle, dreams can come true for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hang on, he's not finished his sentence. This is going somewhere, and I know what it's going to link to.
No.
It's going to link to a certain substance that you can get from Will Starr.
No, I don't know what about.
That makes it sound
Jesus
awful.
juice.
I knew it was coming.
I've had some.
Dale, are you excited for Will Starr?
Tell you what, Will is he's certainly an absolute legend. Since the man's come in, he's just everything he's done. He's so good what he does in the ring. As a trainer, he's magnificent. He's certainly the best trainer we've ever had, and everything he does, he just blows it out of the park. So yeah, absolutely pleasure to know, and I'm looking forward to speaking to him.
Excellent. So obviously, as always, those watching us, do get your questions in for the chosen one. Obviously, we will read all your questions out and ask him the questions. So yeah, make sure you comment below, comment on YouTube chat, and get those questions to us. I suddenly just got really bad indigestion there. Don't know why. Hey, well. We've got 20 minutes, guys, before we are joined by the chosen one. So I think it's time to let the Galaxy know some good news in the start of the year. We've got some good news for the Galaxy right now. Wrestling's not stopping. CPW is not stopping. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this Thursday, on demand, for those who have on demand, you can get it for free. We will be having another episode of Next Gen Wrestling Moonlight, episode 13, starting off 2021 this Thursday at 8:15. What do we think, guys? Are we happy? We're not stopping. Shows are still going to be happening for our fans.
It's amazing.
Ain't no stopping us.
No, I mean, you know, like you said, like CPW are always going to do everything they can to bring that entertainment to the fans, and we'll do everything we can to make sure the fans still get to see some wrestling, even if it's at home in their pants. It don't matter. It don't matter where they are. They can watch us wrestle. And that reminds me, this Thursday at the Moonlight event, there will be the opening of the Team Madness Tavern. And we will be having a very special two very special guests. The first guests on the Team Madness Tavern will be the ruler of darkness, the CPW lineal heavyweight champion, Cleo, and little Susie. That scary little I'm not going to say it. She is scary. It's going to be great. We're going to get to talk to them. We're going to. I'm a bit worried because she's going to bring out that doll. She's going to bring out that music box, and
that music box scary.
But it's in a tavern. It's in a tavern, so you know what that means. Drinks. Yes.
Do you think that might make you forget about the doll? You got enough drink.
I might offer the doll a drink. Maybe that'll make us friends.
You never know.
Only Team Madness could get a tavern at CPW opened when no pubs and bars are opened, eh? That's how it's done.
That's just a big FU, Boris Johnson.
And fuck Boris. But there is,
mate. It's not watershed yet.
It's not gone 9 o'clock yet, lads. Come on, language.
It started early.
There's one thing I wanted to know: what that scary egghead guy, Cleo, what he drinks in that goblet? Is it blood? Is it? I don't know. It looks like he's got some blood dripping down him when he's necking it down, but I don't know what it is.
Ribena.
I don't know. It looks a bit too thick to be Ribena, mate. I've been up close to it when he's drinking it, and I don't know. So maybe it's just red wine, and we're going to share some red wine. I don't know.
Maybe ask the fans. Who knows? The fans might know what it might be. What do the fans think's inside the goblet? That's what we should be asking then.
Yes, we should ask them.
Let's ask them a question. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, like I said, this will be at 8:15 on Thursday, available on Box Office and available for free for those who already have the on-demand service. So, we never know what's going to happen that Thursday. We might have some match announcements tonight. Who knows? Sometimes we do get the sneak previews of what's going to happen. But all we do know right now is what Lee has said, is that the debuting of the Team Madness Tavern will be taking place on Thursday. So go on the Box Office, buy it now, but subscribe to On Demand, purchase On Demand, subscribe to YouTube, and make sure that you are there all year round to make sure you don't miss one of our shows at all. Don't miss one single show that we'll bring to you this year in 2021.
Say On Demand again.
On Demand.
So first, you sound like you say On Demand.
On Demand.
On Demand.
On Demand.
On Demandems.
Who's on demand?
Talking about
Nathan is.
Is he on demand?
He's on demand.
On
I
demand.
just got what you meant by that. What's going on? What's going on
Let's
YouTube?
get to YouTube, shall we? Let's get to the
YouTube. Yeah, just chatting away. We've got we're talking about On Demand. We've got Naomi On Demand on with us now.
Yes, Naomi.
We have got Dominic De Winter saying he owes Lee a beer.
Yes, you do.
Really?
I don't know if I can trust taking it off De Winter though. That slimy git.
It's a beer.
It is a beer. Well, I'll risk it for a beer.
Risk it for a biscuit. Nothing really. They're just talking in between each other, saying hello. Obviously, saying they ain't seen each other since last year. Stuff like that. Sorry, I had to get that. Sorry, Naomi dropped that one in there, and I just thought I'd just steal it.
Okay.
So no, it's quiet really. Just all talking.
Fair. Well, I said about match announcements.
Right.
We've got one for Thursday's event.
Oh, go on then.
Wait, honest,
hit us with it.
And it's not just any match. It's not just any matches happening that night. It's the main event. The main event.
The main event.
The main event has been announced.
What?
I can tell everyone now what the main event is. Ladies and gentlemen, this Thursday,
hit us with it.
On Next Gen Wrestling Moonlight, episode 13, the main event will be the CPW Women's Champion, Chantel Jordan, versus our very own superstar, Shorty, for the CPW Women's Championship.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
awesome.
What a main event.
If the Galaxy didn't see it, it was a Revenge, wasn't it? At Revenge, Shorty shocked everyone by getting the win over Cat Von Cage in a great match.
Right.
So if you ain't seen it, make sure you watch it, definitely. But
Get on demand and watch it.
Shorty, let's hope she comes out with some gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, number one contender, first main event, first opportunity at title gold. Can she walk away with the victory and be the women's champion?
Well, if she, like I say, she pulled out that upset with Cat Von Cage. Cat Von Cage is an amazing performer. So she's got every chance in the world. But Chantal Jordan, she's hard as nails. So she's definitely got a fight ahead of her.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, Chantal Jordan has proved it from. Whenever she's been at CPW, she's always had really good matches. So it's just the next level that Shorty's got to get up to. She got up to there with Cat Von Cage because, like I say, it was a fantastic match. I've heard to come out on top of that. So yeah, I think she's got every chance against Chantal, to be honest.
Yeah, she's gonna have to go out all guns blazing with the support of the Galaxy. And give it her all to get if she wants to come out of that victory. But as you've all said, it's not going to be any easy task for her against Chantal Jordan. But what we can guarantee, though, is it's going to be one hell of a main event.
Yes.
So as said already, if you've got on demand, you will already get the show free. Otherwise, you can purchase it on box office from 11:59 tonight.
Right.
So don't miss out on what you could be an amazing main event, one hell of a main event to start off 2021 at Next Gen Wrestling Moonlight episode.
Get on
13.
demand.
You just read that, Nathan, haven't you?
Come on then, Aaron. Someone's made you laugh. Let's hear it.
I just read that. I just read that at the same time as Aaron read it, and we both laughed on the YouTube chat, right? And it's guess who's making the comments again, guys? Guess who's making the comments to make us laugh again?
I can see it.
It's our man AA. Read it out.
It says Nathan's face is so round that it reminds me of the Teletubby son, the one with the kid's face in it.
I can see it, yeah.
This guy is savage. He's savage.
Funny.
Oh,
That's
my
hilarious.
days.
That is funny.
Oh, we've actually got
Has anyone got? Is there any predictions? Are there any predictions on the YouTube for the Shorty Chantel match?
I did put that. Who's your money on? Shannon the Cannon's gone for Shorty. So's her dad. Naomi's gone Shorty. CPW says can't look past Chantal for that one. Too experienced for Shorty at this stage of her CPW career.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah,
there seems to be a lot of Shorty.
There is a lot of Shorties fans out there. Yep, definitely.
Shorty's definitely over. Definitely the fans wanted to get it.
I feel like that's what Aaron's calling their fans now. If you're a fan of Shorty, you're one of the Shorties.
You're one of the Shorties. The Shortons.
Is there a height restriction to be be a Shorty?
Anything over 5'7", mate, you're not in the Shorties. Lee, you're all right, mate.
So I mean, we've got about 10 minutes or so before we are joined by the Chosen One. Before the Chosen One arrives, shall we say?
Yes.
Let's see. Is there any questions quickly for us guys, or shall we go on talking about something quickly before we are joined by the man himself?
AA wants to know why do I look so fresh. Who the hell's my barber? Well, cheers. My barber's a blind guy, lives down the road. Thank you very much. I'll tell him that.
Somebody who trims goats. That's who's your barber. Yeah.
At least I can grow hair. Jim's online. Hey Jim, how you doing? It's nice to see you online and with
Jim.
us. But no, that's really it. What we got here? Don't do into so. What were your standout moments of Revenge pay-per-view, fellas?
I mean, we could talk about the Revenge pay-per-view, or we can wait for the Chosen One to talk about the Revenge pay-per-view, get his views on it. But I mean, there were a lot of oh my god moments really to end the career, end the career, end the year on.
End the career? Whose career?
End the career. I don't know what career was
ended.
ended. Anyone missed that episode? I mean, it was one hell of a show. I mean, there was a lot of shocking factors and moments. Example, Shorty beating Cat Von Cage.
Yep.
You know, the end of the night, the heroes were standing tall in the CPW Galaxy.
Sister versus sister.
Sister versus sister match was an epic match.
That was my match.
We set that up. We set that up.
We did. My favorite part was Mr. Richards on commentary.
Team Madness regained the titles and shut up the Winter Dynasty.
We never regained.
They retained.
I said retained.
Sorry, I
You said
sounded like
regained.
Sorry.
I thought you said that.
Actually, we're missing something. A career did end. We saw Tomby in 3 Stages Hell with Dan Evans, and he went in that. What another match! Let's talk about those 2 matches they've had. We didn't get to talk about the one beforehand because, unfortunately, it was Christmas and we didn't have any chance after Xmas Bash to talk about the Massacre match. And then they've gone into 3 Stages of Hell. Those 2 guys have gone on a rampage, a war, a battle, and it all ended at Revenge when Dan Evans shut the coffin on Tomby and he was carried out. Do we know when we'll see him again? If we'll ever see him again, that is a question. But let's talk about the matches. Let's talk about the absolute brutal match they had at Xmas Bash. And then they went on to do what they did at Revenge. What are your guys' opinions on that?
it was a bloodbath, mate. It was like a scene out of Braveheart or Saving Private Ryan or something like that. You know what I mean? It was blood and guts everywhere, and the state of Tomby at the end of it, mate. I mean, I don't usually get queasy, but that was like.
I'll tell you what, it's that bad. It's made Aaron leave.
That's how bad it was.
He can't even think about the blood and guts that are on there.
Well, I'll tell you, when Dan throws that chair square bang into Tommy's face, I mean, I'd see it bang. I was like, oh, you. And then his blood starts pouring out. I thought, oh my goodness, this is just unbelievable.
And then what he say?
Unbelievable.
You were like right next to it, Dale.
Yeah.
I was face on when that chair went smack straight in his face. I was like, oh, what the?
You know, when you heard stuff like that backstage, you know, like when you can literally hear it and it sounds disgusting from that back, naughty shot. You know?
Absolutely unbelievable. And it's just surreal. I just couldn't believe that was done. It started bleeding everywhere. Oh my goodness.
And then he even manages to turn back up to Revenge, obviously bandage and all, turns up to Revenge and goes through 3 stages of hell, a no DQ match, a chain match, outlaw chain submission match, and then to end it, it was a coffin match.
Yeah, man, that was
fair plays to them both. I mean, I only see big things for Dan Evans in 2021, probably. You know, he's come off the back of 2 brutal matches. You know, he's not someone that people might want to get in the ring with on the back of those performances, the violence that he's brought. And if Tomby returns or if he comes back, we don't know. Does anyone want to go against him? You know, he's not going to be in a happy place. He's not going to be in a good place. He's going to be, you know, he is the taker of souls. He knows how to hone into this evil side of things. You know, we could see if he does come back, he could be channeling that aggression in a positive manner to, you know, go after some other people. We don't know, but you know, what did the fans think of those matches is what I want to know. and whilst we're waiting for him to comment, Aaron, I've
So
got an
that's-
announcement to make.
Another
Go
one.
for it.
I know. So, for those who haven't been paying attention to the CPW Facebook page or the on-demand page, CPW recently did, or brought to you, shall I say, a new game, a new challenge in the CPW Labyrinth. You've all seen that?
Labyrinth.
The CPW Labyrinth,
Yep.
Mhm.
where, there's 5 stages, 5 questions. The winner got a chance to be at commentary and join Mr. Richards on commentary at the live shows. Well, this Wednesday, there will be a new CPW Labyrinth.
Wow. Wow.
And the winner of this CPW Labyrinth will be a guest on Talking Madness next Sunday.
Wow.
Wow,
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So
That's
keep your eyes
magnificent.
posted on CPW's Facebook page. Keep your eyes posted on demand. Anything that gets posted up there, because CPW will post up the link to the CPW Labyrinth. And then you will only have 5 questions to answer, where if you are the first person to complete the labyrinth, you will be the special guest joining your boys. I'm not going to do that because that's copywriting. Joining us, Talking Madness, next Sunday.
Who's it copywriting?
We can't afford to get sued.
Yeah, we can't afford to get sued by WWE, mate.
I'm not being
I think-
funny, but
yeah, but I think it's just saying, isn't it?
you can't sue people that ain't got nothing. So Vince,
But no, that is what an amazing opportunity that is, guys.
yeah,
We want one of you as a guest. So yeah, get on the
Plus, it
labyrinth.
also means we don't really know in advance who our guest could be. And it
No,
could be
so-
someone
No,
we know
no
nothing
idea.
about. It could be so interesting. We're going to learn something new about someone completely random.
what happens
Absolutely
if
looking
what
forward to
happens if
that.
a man from India?
Yeah, get him on there. Tell him to get
That'd
on
be
there.
awesome.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine that?
It'll be an episode of us getting roasted by him.
Oh,
Yeah,
big
getting
time.
abused.
He would, yeah. Sorry, I just had to shoot off. Then I just remembered I had a chicken in the oven. I totally forgot.
Was it the old the hillbilly chicken? Is that where it went?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to bring it back to life.
You got hold of it.
Man, I just sat here and I was like, I smell some burning. Oh God, I got chicken in the oven. So I had to quickly-
So yeah.
Oh, you can't burn chicken, mate.
You can if you leave it too long.
Give it a good go.
No, I meant
Give it a good
it
go.
don't taste nice if you burn
All right.
chicken.
Yeah, you know.
Rest
But,
nice, taste
so-
nice.
A lot of people are, the Tomby match looks like that it was the favourite of the show.
That's got to get match of the year or something like that. That's got to be, that was a special match, man.
It was one hell of a match.
It was one hell of a match. Both of them, to be fair.
What we've got here, Richard says Tomby has gone to the dark side to heal his soul and will come back better than ever.
That's what it does.
Ooh.
Could be true. It could be true. We never know.
Don't know.
Shannon says Tomby and Dan's match on the 2 shows to finish the year was amazing.
Yep.
Kiara,
Can't argue with that.
Kiara says the 3 stages
Hey,
of how
Kiara.
match was amazing. Kiara, you could say that, but I thought your match was amazing too.
Yeah. The girls put on a great match. I mean, we've been waiting for that for ages, haven't we?
We have.
His sister. Like,
And hearing Mr. Richards on,
unfortunately, Kiara, you did not come out on top in that match, did you?
nah,
And so,
I mean, it did escalate on here between them. So, I mean,
yeah.
it was having to happen sooner or later.
I mean,
It
do you
had
think they
to.
were fighting over Christmas dinner? Like Brussels sprouts flying everywhere, turkey giblets in the air.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely guaranteed, I think. It's got to be. Aside from that, has got a really long table and they didn't want to
I bet
throw
they
that
have
far.
actually. I bet they have. I bet it's
they need
massive.
the butler to sell their sprouts.
Yeah. I bet it's a massive long table. They've got like intercoms to talk to each other.
Think so. Might
Yeah.
might have like employees who who come
Yeah.
down and pass messages on.
Bit like me for you guys.
Yeah, you are.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you, yeah.
Man, I'm getting roasted here now by AA as well.
What's
Yeah.
he say?
More into that one, didn't you, mate?
Spit it out then.
Azza, will your carer be joining us tonight for the episode of Talking Madness?
Oh,
Oh,
mate.
this guy is savage.
This guy.
I want a beer with
Brilliant.
him. I want to go for a beer.
Go to
Mate,
India,
the
take a
beer,
beer.
the beer will end up over you, mate. You'll end up throwing the beer over you or something.
Mate, this guy's savage. Yeah, Wes Hanley's online. Evening, Wes.
Oh,
Ah,
Wes.
Surprised he's not. I'm guessing Wes was watching the darts at the weekend, weren't he?
Yeah.
Well,
you
that's
know.
that's just still on now, to be honest. Final.
Oh,
look.
fine. Oh, surprised he. Well, we thank you, Wes, for joining us instead of watching the final, unless it's finished.
No, it's still playing.
Oh, it's
He
still.
just said it's play.
Darts is boring.
Yeah. Behave yourself, Lee, man.
Now, can I just say he's only saying that because Lee can't reach the board to take them back out.
And he can play 3 darts, best score, because he throws the 3. That's it. He lost them for the day.
They're that big in my hand. It's like I'm
You
fucking
can start.
jabbing.
We can find a box to stand on.
Do you remember the old bullseye when Bully was hanging onto the dart and he was going through the air? That's like Lee when he throws a dart, he hangs onto it.
Aaron, Wes just got Lee back with his comment, though.
Dart, boring. Your injury list is boring.
Ah,
You're injuring this. Oh, that one. Right, ladies and gentlemen,
Bully.
it's that time of night where we are joined by the sensei himself, the chosen one, Will Starr. Here he is. Bow down to the sensei. Sensei. Here's Sensei Will Starr. Bow down to the chosen one, everyone.
stop now.
Is he there?
Here he is. He's
Are we
here.
all just fanning
He's
him?
bowing down to the chosen one.
Hey!
Cheers, everyone.
Happy New Year, Will.
Here's to you, Will.
Oh,
He's it. He's like, I'm off now.
yeah, see you later. I've got my applause. I'm out of here.
So,
Can you hear me, yeah?
yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
I guess we start off by confirming that you are drinking JD. Is that correct?
Always, mate.
Always.
It's always a JD.
I'm 3 drinks in, so bear with me.
Hey!
Will Starr's trying to beat Naomi's record of being more drunk quicker than she was.
I've got my
know
glass
me.
as well.
You know me. Takes me a while to get drunk.
Will's
Yeah, that
got
is true.
Will's got
I
with
know that.
everyone at everything, though, obviously.
So how have you been, Will Starr? Are you looking forward to what 2021 is bringing Will Starr this year?
Yeah, man, I've been good. Yeah, just looking forward to 2021. Glad 2020 is behind us. It's been a rough year for everyone, but CPW kept on rolling. And we're going to make 2021 better.
Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah.
That is the plan, mate. That is the plan.
So we'd like to start off by saying thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you joining us here. So obviously everyone watching, please get your questions in now for Will Starr. Otherwise, there's no questions. There's no point of him really being here, is there? So let's get the questions in for him because
There's always a point for the Will being here.
Yeah.
That is true. He makes it everything look prettier.
Well, that's right, yeah.
He does.
Like we're probably the ugliest looking podcast in the world, and now we've got a good looking Will Starr on.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
I just want to say my thanks to Will as well for sending me a drink earlier on. Thank you very much, Will.
Tell me what? That's a big glass, that is, mate. You're very demanding.
That
You're a
must
big
have-
man, Will. You're a big man.
I really want to know how long that glass has been sat there for him waiting just to do that, to do that segment. Just to do that segment. That's got to be there for a while.
We've been sitting there for at least half an hour or so.
I could taste pineapple though. You've been eating pineapple, Will?
Ah,
Been there for at least 2 days.
It is. It's been fermenting.
Slowly turn into cheese.
I sent it in the mail about a week ago.
What do
When
you say,
say
Will?
male,
I sent it in the mail about a week ago. So
Right,
Beautiful.
Naomi, first of all, that's not milk. That is Jesus juice. Let's get it
Yeah.
right.
that's Jesus juice. Listen, you know when you're in the Jesus juice gang is when he sends you a cup of it, and that is a cup. He didn't even break a sweat to make that.
Wow.
I did.
So, Will, did you have a good Christmas, mate?
Yeah, it was good, mate.
Get loads of presents.
Yeah, a lot of whiskey, to be honest. I'm making my way through it, but yeah, it's a lot of whiskey. That's how I spent my Christmas.
That's a good Christmas, mate. That's a good fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
So, what we
So,
got?
Aaron, I think we'll head over to YouTube first of all and see
Yes.
what quick questions we've got for Will, and then we'll get on with Dale's questions, because I think Will's had a very long career at CPW, so we could be there for a while.
Couple of hours.
Dale probably got an essay of questions for Will tonight.
First one I want to get through is obviously AA, our friend from India, says Will looks like an 80s cop from Alabama. Okay.
80s cop.
80s
yeah.
cop. Yeah.
80s cop from Alabama.
I
This
thought he
guy's
said something
savage.
else then.
There's a TV to make there. There's a TV show. It's like Miami Vice, but in Alabama. There's one we
Wes wants to know what's Will's CPW Mount Rushmore.
CPW Mount Rushmore. That would have to be Mr. Richards, obviously, the creator, the founder. For me, is the measuring stick. The guy I took the lineal heavyweight championship bout off. He set the standards for me personally, and obviously he's the creator, so he would be the first one on there. Then I would have to say Dan Evans. For me, Dan he's like the conscience of CPW. He's just a constant. He's always there. He's always there, setting the standard for everybody else on the card. He's going to bring his A game every time. He's just that level of professionalism that everyone else in the locker room has to live up to. And he's been there for as long as I've been there and from the start. So he's got to be on there. Then after that, who would it be? I mean, it's hard because CPW always goes through different phases and it moves on and it evolves. I'm not going to pick myself. I don't want to pick myself because, everyone knows I'm not arrogant. So I'm not going to pick myself. I'd probably have to go for Tom Lindsay, because he was one of the first CPW academy graduates who sort of made it through that system and made it through the different levels and main evented, became a champion, main evented history. And he was one of the guys when I first stepped into CPW. He was one of the main guys. And that's really important. That's what CPW for me is all about. Coming through the academy training, being local, and just making those steps through each level of the game. And then after that, I'd have to say, he's going to love this, but I'd have to say Fifi / Russell Hardwood / Cleo. Again, that similar to Tom Lindsay, where he's a local guy. He's come through the ranks of CPW. He's been a champion. He's earned his stripes. And Cleo obviously took the lineal heavyweight championship off of me. For me, consistency is key. That's one of the biggest things, and longevity is really important in wrestling. It's one of the hardest things to achieve in wrestling. So that's one of the things I look at. And so, yeah, when I consider a Mount Rushmore, sort of the 4 greatest CPW superstars, that's a big factor. So, yeah, that would be my answer. Those 4 guys, I guess. Just off the top of my head. Anyway.
That's a good 4. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like me and Aaron, both of us have learned loads off you, but we can definitely say we've learned a hell of a lot off Nathan as well, off Fifi, you know, off that ugly Scotch egg looking motherfucker. You know, we've learned loads off him. And yeah, so the rest is good choices as well. Yeah, Tom Lindsay was a great guy, one of the best heels I've seen. I loved watching him as a heel. He was brilliant. And then obviously Phil, you know, he's the boss, he's the man.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I did put you in my Mount Rushmore, Will. You know,
I think we've all got Will in our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
He's been respectful and not put himself in his, but none of us would have argued if he had. Obviously, I thank you for the kind words there. I appreciate those kind words.
He's clearly not got an ego.
No,
Who,
Not like
Will or
you.
me?
Not like you. Not you.
Not gonna say.
no one
I like to
ever
say I
thinks
don't
you
have an
an
ego. I like to say I don't have an ego, but sometimes I may have one.
I mean, there is a bit of
Okay.
bromance between you two anyway, really, isn't there? Like me and Lee's got a bromance. There is a bromance between you two as well.
Why, mate, if you're going to bromance, yours and Lee doesn't come anywhere near mine and his. It doesn't even touch us, mate.
Funny you should say that, because as you're talking, I went through your phone, Nathan, and I found a picture, right? And I did send it to myself. So let me see if I can get this picture up. Bear me a second, guys. Let's have a look. Now, this was taken from Nathan's phone. If you bear with me.
It wasn't my phone. It's definitely on Facebook.
No, mate. No. Listen, I don't go on people's Facebooks.
When have you had access to my phone?
you got on Facebook to rob their picture.
I really don't know what you're on
when he went on
about.
my phone. That's what I'm saying. When did he go on my
Well,
phone? I'm
mate,
not worried.
And so I just want to bring this picture up here. What's this? That was on your phone.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see it.
You've made that.
Look. I found this on his phone. Now, can somebody please tell me what's going on there? I mean, Will's got. I mean, you make my Mount Rushmore for a start. And Nathan, you look like a boy band that's never got anywhere past the first stage of anything.
That photo is quite some years ago.
Do you remember that night?
So
yeah, I remember that night.
I think that was the night you almost had a heart attack in the middle of the dance floor.
Oh, fucking hell.
Legit, he's not even joking. I must have drank too many spirits, and if I drink too much spirits, it can be bad for my heart. And I was in the middle of the dance floor with Will, and next to me, I just like stopped, froze, and was like shooting pains in my chest, and I was like, I can't breathe.
And like any best friend would do, I went over to him and started pouring more alcohol down his throat.
You legend. You legend.
Yeah, like any friend would do. Absolutely.
It worked. I didn't go home. Carried on.
That's all. Fight through it, mate.
Fight through the heart attack.
Well, that's it.
So
Will knew the remedy to your situation. Yeah, there you go.
So Will, I've got some more questions for Will. If we want to get them through now.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. So Kiara wants to know, Will, what has been your favourite WrestleMania moments from WWE?
My favourite WrestleMania moments?
Is it natural disasters?
No. I would have to say
Close.
I would have to say Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. Just because I was at a very impressionable age at that time. I'm just topping up my whiskey and Coke, by the way. That's what I'm doing. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, Austin and Shawn Michaels, just because that was I feel like that was one of those pivotal moments for me as a fan. Just watching Shawn Michaels pass the baton on to Austin and hand down that title, and that sort of kicked on the Stone Cold era that I sort of was just a massive fan of as a kid, growing up and watching. And also probably Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, just because it gets me every time. I'm the biggest Ric Flair fan, mark, whatever you want to say. Yeah, that moment when Shawn Michaels retires Ric Flair at WrestleMania is just epic.
Who didn't have a fucking tear in their eye then? You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Every time you watch it, you can't help but cry. It's just, and that's what wrestling is all about. That's what sports entertainment is all about. It's about drawing emotion from the fans. That's the bottom line. You know, you can say high spots, you can say moves, but it's about drawing emotion. Nothing, no moment is more emotional than that. You know, you're talking about the greatest career, greatest legacy of all time coming to a head, coming to, being epitomized in one moment. So that has to be up there for my favorite, best WrestleMania moments. Yeah, that will probably be number one, to be fair. And like I say, then there's other matches and moments where you look back on and you think, you sort of revisit over and over again because you just enjoy them so much. Like I say, Austin winning his first ever WWF World Championship. There's Ric Flair, Randy Savage is a great match that I'll go back and revisit a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. There's quite a few.
What, like Warrior versus Hogan?
I was about to say that, Dale.
I was waiting for someone to mention this. Go on, Will. I'll let you go to town now.
I don't know how much of a fan he is of them two.
On
certainly the Warrior.
No. Yeah, I'm a fan of Hulk Hogan, but Ultimate Warrior, no. Very selfish, unprofessional. Didn't deserve the push he got, and look, it was a big moment for Hulk Hogan to lose to someone at WrestleMania, but what happened after that? Ultimate Warrior didn't do anything with it. So he didn't deserve the push.
That's why they had to give it back to Hogan.
Exactly, yeah. To be fair, Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior is a great WrestleMania match, but that's all Savage. That's just, for me, that shows what a great worker Randy Savage was. Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 5 is a great match that I'd love to go back and watch a lot. Again, just two guys that in their peaks, probably. Just a huge match. Yeah. I'm a huge Randy Savage fan, obviously. That's where I got my finisher from, the elbow drop from the top. That's my little tribute to Randy Savage. I'm a big fan of his. Just his character, his work rate in the ring, everything. So yeah, Randy Savage had some great WrestleMania matches, including against Warrior, which is hard to do.
Yeah, he was a fantastic performer. I can't argue with you, Will. He was. Savage was someone. Every time you saw him in every match that he did, it was usually, if it weren't 8, it might have been a 9 out of 10.
I mean, right, yeah, Randy Savage has got to be my favourite from that era. I absolutely loved him. Like, that man was electric. Like how The Rock had that electricity. That's what Randy Savage had, man. Every time he did a promo, anything, man, you were hooked. Everything he did, I was hooked, and he was brilliant.
He wasn't trying to be a wrestler. He just was. He was Randy Savage. But Ultimate Warrior was, can we swear? What are the ground rules on this?
Well, yeah, you can swear, mate. It's got 9 o'clock.
Okay. You can say whatever you like to a certain extent.
Ultimate Warrior was dog shit. How about that?
Oh, we need to get on to another question, or we'll be here all night. We'll ranting
Yeah.
about
So,
Warrior.
Should I crack on? COD Pro Wrestling wants to know, how has Will found the progress of Corey and Lewis so far?
Corey and Lewis, Morris and Bashby. Yeah, they're kind of the star pupils, aren't they, of the academy? For me, they epitomise what the CPW academy is all about. Young, hungry, talented local kids, very professional. Take on board everything they that you say. Just very eager to learn. They're two guys that I've heard them both say at different times, call me their mentor and credit me a lot. I don't like to take too much credit, but I've heard them say it and give me the credit, which is something I just take immense pride from. And it's something that I don't. It's hard for me to. So I don't really like thinking of sort of my legacy as like my own career. Kind of struggle with that. I don't like. I take more pride in kids like Morris and Bashby more than sort of my own career and my own wins. If I see them win a championship, that means more to me than me winning a championship. I think that's the best way to put it. It's hard for me to describe and put it into words, but it just it means a lot to me, and it's something I take a lot of pride in. Put a lot of work into being a trainer. I take it very seriously, and they kind of, like I say, they just epitomise the academy and all the work that we put into the training academy at CPW. So yeah, they're two guys that I take huge amounts of pride in, and I can't wait to see what their careers look like. I just look forward to seeing their careers unfold.
Being so young as well, that they're so young, and where they're at the moment at that age,
Yeah, I mean, look,
crazy.
I started when I was 16, 17, and one thing I lacked was like that mentorship, mentors and people around me. So that's what it means a lot to me, to be able to provide that for kids like that. And to see them take it on board and run with it and really appreciate it and just want to learn. That's what really hits me. And yeah, I can't say too much about it, man.
That's good. Yeah.
Carry on.
So Wes wants to know, out of all of the people that have done Superstars but only had the one match, who would you have loved to carry on and thought could make it?
Just had the one match.
Yeah, so one match on the night and then didn't come back again.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, it's hard. I mean,
I'm trying to think of season one. There's only one person that didn't come back from season one, weren't there?
Cash.
I mean, I haven't got the best memory. I've been hit in the head with a lot of steel chairs, so I haven't got the best memory of who's had what matches and stuff. But just talking about superstars, I mean, we've seen a lot of talent come through. And again, we always say for superstars, that's just to give guys just a little taste of what it's like to be a wrestler. So for them to then choose to carry on beyond that is great to see. And you always hope that people come back, because we're there to make it an enjoyable experience. We're there to provide a home for people, make people feel comfortable within CPW and want to come back. So we've seen some really talented superstars, wrestlers come through the Superstar project. And it's something that, I personally work very hard on, dedicate a lot of my time to. It's not something I take for granted at all. And obviously everyone else involved with the academy take it just as seriously. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Really, there's a lot of talent that's come through the Superstars projects.
Definitely.
Good.
Definitely agree with you on that one. I mean, like you say, a lot of the roster nowadays is even made up of people from the Superstars project, which is like, again, down to your hard work, the vision of Mr. Richards himself, and like the team behind you. When we look at the roster we have today, and yeah, half of them all, almost half of them have come from the Superstars project. It's and especially when we say it every show, every season, when we first started, people said it couldn't be done. It wouldn't do anything. It was a joke. Blah blah blah. All everything under the sun. They said it, and we've proven them now, time and time again. It's wrong. Our guys and girls that have gone through it have proven it, and continue to make waves, not just at CPW, but around the country, and keep getting noticed wherever they go. Superstars Project's been amazing, I think, so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I take a lot of pride in. Just taking a look at the roster, and you can take a look at certain shows and think, that most of it is homegrown talent, and it's a connection that the CPW Galaxy have with those guys. Excuse me. That they can't get with sort of anyone else, because they've seen that progression. They've seen them come from when I started in business. So yes, it's great to see when you look at the roster and you see how many guys come through, not just the academy, but like you say, the Superstars project. Yeah.
Cool. Commentary Pro Wrestling wants to know, who does Will think is the next main event star or stars in the CPW, and why?
Who is the next main event talent?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously the two young guys that we've just mentioned. We've just been speaking about Morris and Bashby. I think Morris had that sort of glimpse into the main event scene when he faced me at the Xmas Bash for the Lineal Championship. That was a huge moment for him. I know that personally. And I feel like he was just on the cusp of, he pushed me to my limits. And I felt like another time or a little bit later on down the line, I feel we could have had my number, and he could have beat me on another day maybe. So yeah, you have to look at him and say he's about on that. He's on that trajectory, and he's definitely going to be a main eventer one day. And obviously Bashby, I feel like he hasn't really broken through yet onto that main event scene. I think it's only a matter of time. He's got everything you want. Obviously he's still young, still got a lot to learn, but in terms of, I think he's taken a lot of steps lately, the past year, in terms of his physical shape. I think he's really developing physically. I've seen him firsthand in the academy and helping out around the academy. You can see his cardio is improved a lot. You can definitely push a lot of superstars to their limits. I know that for a fact. Obviously, the age is a factor. They're definitely going to become main eventers. It's just a matter of time. But they're definitely on the cusp of it. Them two guys. They've just got to keep their feet on the ground. We've seen Morris. He's had a bit of a change in attitude lately. We've seen it with Bashby in the past. They've got to just keep their feet on the ground, and as long as they're willing to accept that they've still got a lot to learn, then they're going to be in the main events very soon. I've got no doubt about that.
I mean, I agree with you there, Will. I mean, out of many people that have come through the academy and also on the roster right now, they're two young lads that have got a big future, all the potential to go and make it. And like I say, definitely be the main event guys of CPW in the future. I think everyone will always agree with the words you say so far. I mean, there's a reason why they call you sensei with the wise words that come out of your mouth, I guess. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that one. Aaron, before we move on to more of your questions, if you're there, I can't see you.
I'm here. Sorry.
We just need to make an announcement. First of all, to AA.
Yeah.
We'd just like to let you know, AA. Please make sure your messages are appropriate, please, and please comment appropriately on our chat, or we will unfortunately
please.
you from the live stream and the chat. I'm afraid. We're not happy with what you're commenting at the moment, so please make sure you're commenting appropriately. Thank you.
Man smoking something.
We actually got a question for Dal quickly from outside of the YouTube chat. It's from everyone's favourite James Cross. James Cross wants to know, Dal, is that the Stadium of Light behind you?
Tell James Cross, has he given you my money yet?
Has he given you my money? No, probably hasn't, mate.
No, has he paid me yet?
Are you a Sunderland supporter, or are you Dale?
About as much as you're a Tottenham supporter will.
Hey, Martin's online tonight. I'm sure he's got some wise words.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Martin could be
Sorry.
quiet.
You had to go there.
Sorry, Dale. Dale's going to leave us. Don't leave us, Dale, please. I'm sorry.
Martin could be quiet. I like him, but that could soon change.
Wow. Dale's gone rogue.
Olivia did want Will to go and comment about his opinion on Will.
Olivia.
Olivia. I think that's right. Am I wrong? Have I said it wrong? Anyway.
I'll call it Olivia, but
okay. Well, she wanted Will to talk about his opinions on Ultimate Warrior, but I think we've already done enough of that tonight. There's no need to go back on Ultimate Warrior.
Put it this way, I will say this. During lockdown, when it was hard for everyone to see each other and meet up, and it was hard to train sort of physically, at the academy and stuff, we were doing Zoom sessions, and I was holding watch-along sessions we were going through. And yeah, I got everyone together to watch how wrestling shouldn't be done. And I made everyone watch a match of Ultimate Warrior. And that's how wrestling shouldn't be done.
I enjoyed it thoroughly, Will. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I exposed how bad he is, why he's as bad as he is.
I love the fact that Will's just shooting on Ultimate Warrior and he's not even here.
Like I say, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
You what, mate?
Sorry, R2D2.
It's a robot there. Best thing I've ever heard. Dale sound.
Oh dear.
So, Will, I'd say, who's worse, Ultimate Warrior or Natural Disasters?
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, I knew you were a Natural Disasters fan, really.
No,
yeah, he is really.
He is. I know.
Natural Disasters aren't too bad. Earthquake is a great wrestler. He was a great worker. Pretty light on his feet for how big of a guy he was. But Ultimate Warrior, look, he's just selfish. It's just, for me as a trainer, I'll put it this way, like, in all seriousness, for me as a trainer, there's certain values that you want to get across to your trainees and you want to teach. And Ultimate Warrior stands for everything, like the opposite of everything I try and teach as a trainer. All the values, respecting the business, being a fan of the business, being in the business for the right reasons, not just for money or fame or just a quick grab. Having a certain level of respect for the person you're in the ring with, even if you don't like them, there's got to be that level of respect and professionalism that you have to bring to it. So, for me, it will be worrying if someone came in and said they want to be exactly like the Ultimate Warrior. That would be like a red flag to me. That wouldn't be.
You just throw them out of the building straight away, immediately.
Well, yeah. I would.
Oh yeah.
Stretch him, throw him out.
Without revealing too much, if I see something in training, there's a certain thing that sometimes I'll see in training, and I'll call it the Ultimate Warrior, and that means you're doing bad. You're doing wrong. You're doing the wrong thing.
Really?
It's not the shaking of the ropes.
It's not shaking the ropes. No, I've got no problem with people hyping themselves up. That's fine. That's one of the things he did correctly.
I thought you just liked me when you were calling me your Ultimate Warrior. I thought, God, this guy likes me. I'm like, hard I am. I understand now.
So I can see our main man Wes is being very busy with some questions. So
he has. There's quite a few.
Fire through some of Wes's questions at
yes.
Frozen One.
We don't want to upset Wes.
I was enjoying the chat before I came on. I was enjoying the chat. I was watching it. Got some great guys on the chat, but now I'm on the Zoom. I can't see the questions. So.
Yeah,
right, we can see them for you.
So Wes wants to know: is there anyone who no longer wrestles that Will has never faced in CPW?
Does he mean people that used to wrestle for CPW?
I don't know.
Well, obviously, yeah. I thought so.
Yeah. Ultimate Warrior.
What did he work for CPW?
Who?
Yeah, mate, he did. Warrior. He was in season 1. Superstar.
There's one person I'd like to see Will face.
Go on.
Brandon Thomas.
I was just thinking that.
Well, hold on. He was actually my answer, but I did actually face him. It was when I first started with CPW, and I did actually have a match with him. It was very early on in my CPW career. I learned a lot from him, and yeah, I do think about that match a lot because it was a big step for me. It was a big moment for me. I think he was the champion at the time. Maybe he wasn't. I can't quite remember. Like I said, I've been hitting the head with a lot of steel chairs. But I remember the match, and I just remember thinking, where I am now in my development and how my career has evolved. I'd love to go back and work him again with, because at that time when I did face him, he was kind of like the main guy. He was one of the main eventers of CPW. The fans all knew him, and I was pretty much a nobody. The fans didn't really have any real connection towards me. They saw me as a, good up and comer, I guess. But now with their following, it'll be something that if it was ever to happen again, I think it would be really interesting. Be a lot of fun, and I think I could give him a better match now than I did at that time.
There's another good heel that I think you could have had a good match with if he stuck around. Dal might be backing me up on this one. Chris Stone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
awesome.
actually, I knew Chris Stone from years ago, and I did have a match with him years before CPW was a thing. So I had a match with him in Birmingham, I think. No, it was Leicester. I had a match with him in Leicester. Way before you even started in the business, and it was years ago. So yeah, good match actually.
Very talented.
He beat me with
Very talented heel, great worker.
I think he beat me with a Spanish fly off the top rope.
Fucking hell.
Really?
Yeah. Oh no! Actually, I think I kicked out of that.
I know he brings the drink up and gives a cheeky smile at the same
The
time.
only reason I said it. The only reason I said it is
I kicked out and beat him with a punch.
the reason why I said it is obviously Brandon Thomas is a great choice. I mean, he's someone that most people would want to face if someone from the past is CPW's past. But the reason why I said Chris Stone, obviously, I had the privilege of wrestling Chris Stone. I was his last match at CPW. Unfortunate for him because I was only just starting off then, so I wasn't as good as I am now. But I just know, like, just being in the ring with him, I just off the top of my head, I was thinking, he's someone that you could have had a really good match with.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler. Like I said, I knew him from years before, being on the similar kind of indie scene, Birmingham. It wasn't much of when I first broke in to wrestling, there wasn't a lot going on. It wasn't like the British indie scene wasn't like it was. I don't want to say today, but a few years ago, when it was really hot and there was a lot going on and a lot of promotions popping up. When I first started out, there was hardly anything. There was no money to be made, not a lot going on, and so yeah, you'd bump into the same people. You'd have your little crew of guys, and yeah, we were, my mates were mates of Chris Stone, so yeah, we ended up having a match in, like I say, Leicester, which was fun.
A little birdie tells me that Dal sometimes still talks to Chris Stone. Dal, do you reckon you can get him back for one more match?
It would be something that I've tried to do a number of times. I've keep telling him to come down to the PC and come down to the performance centre and do some training, but he's very difficult to persuade. I really, honestly, I would.
I wonder if he remembers me. I wonder if he remembers me. He probably wouldn't.
Who forget you?
You are.
Why would he want to remember you? You keep that Spanish fly from the top rope.
Exactly. How can you do that to him?
What else is? What other questions you got there, Aaron?
I was going to say that. Nermi on Demand wants to know, what were your greatest challenges when you started training when you were 16, 17, World Star?
My greatest challenges. I'm going to sound really arrogant.
No?
No, never.
Greatest challenges, I think, obviously timing is takes a while. You can't learn that any other way other than experience and being in the ring. And like I say, when I first started, that was hard to come by. There wasn't a lot going on in the indie scene when I first started, so there wasn't. I didn't get a lot of ring time. I didn't get a lot of match experience. That's something, again, when I think about the academy and the work that, in particular, Mr. Rich has done throughout the years to provide young guys or, anyone wanting to learn how to be a wrestler, just the fact that we've got our own academy, the fact that we've got a ring set up all week, anytime you can jump in the ring, anytime you feel like it. That's something that would have blown my mind back in the day when I first started. That was like, finding a wrestling ring free that we could have used all by ourselves. That was like, that would have been like finding the Holy Grail. It was like, it was, we couldn't have imagined it. So yeah, I mean, I didn't get a lot of match experience. Yeah, and obviously now CPW has like the New Blood brand where trainees that's kind of their first step into becoming a CPW superstar. That's an opportunity for them to grow and learn their craft. That's something that I never had. So I guess just general match experience and ring time. That was so difficult to come by. I mean, we used to travel, so many miles just to train and just to find a ring set up. When I first started training, it was just on mats, and that's where a lot of my technical wrestling comes from, and sort of shoot wrestling comes from, because I started out on mats, so I had to learn how to do takedowns and submissions and things like that, rather than coming off the ropes and springboarding and things like that, because I didn't have access to a ring. So yeah.
Okay, Shannon, the Cannons asked a question. It was for all of us, but I think Will would answer it better because being the sensei he is, he's trained us all in that way. She wants to know, what would your advice be for people upcoming from the superstars? So I suppose people that's finished superstars and want to carry it on.
Again, just get as much ring time as possible. Just train as much as possible. It's just that's something that I feel it can't be taken for granted. The fact that you've got access to a ring, to an academy that's just there for you all week long, ready to help you out whenever you're ready to. That's something that can't be taken for granted. You just have to be willing to just be very open to learn, and just accept that you're there's always something to learn. You're always learning in wrestling. Even now, all the years I've got under my belt, I'm still learning, still trying to better myself. So yeah, I would just say just get as much training in as possible.
Coventry Pro Wrestling wants to know, what was the moment Will thought, I've hooked them?
I've hooked them.
I think he means the CPW Galaxy. Like
Yeah.
when did you know that like you were there?
What was the moment I hooked them? Probably it would have to be the lead up. I wouldn't know about a certain moment. It would have to be the build up to the prison match with Mr. Richards. Probably, I guess it was a promo that Mr. Richards cut on me. I think it was straight after I beat the Beast for the heavyweight championship. And he cut a promo on me, and it was just, I felt the fans totally invested in me and Mr. Richards, and wanting to see how it would unfold. And I just felt the anticipation for that match was so huge and so epic. It was just unlike anything I'd felt before. And the pressure going into that match, it was just unrivaled. And it was just like, you couldn't deny how big it was and how important it was for the Galaxy, for the CPW fans. And they were just so invested in it. And you can go back and watch that match now. Obviously, you can get CPW on demand and watch that match. And the fans just don't stop chanting throughout the match. I mean, we had messages after the match. I had messages, people telling me they lost their voice after just watching a match and they'd never experienced anything like it, because it was just non-stop. The intensity never dropped throughout the match. So in the build up to that, where it was like, yeah, I'm ready for this step, and obviously, that was, I never felt the emotion, the investment from the fans, quite like that before. So I would have to say that, because that's kind of the peak. When you get to that level, there's not much. There's not much beyond that. So it would have to be that.
I mean, on the back of that question, then obviously you say, like, that's when you felt like you hooked them, and that was the moment where you really felt like the noise and the passion from the fans. I guess that links to one of Wesley's other questions that he asks all our guests, is what makes the CPW fans so good, or the greatest in the world, and better to any other fans that you go to when you wrestle around the other country?
It's just the passion, just how involved they are, and how it's hard to put it into words. That's the only words I can use is passion and love for it. They would move heaven and earth to be at a show.
Yeah.
You can't, how there's no other fan base like it that would do that. They're going to be there no matter what. And they're just, you can see it, because how many superstars have we had come through the academy, how through the system, that they just instantly take to. They want to be there for their guys. They're always willing to give people a chance, no matter how inexperienced they are, no matter how young they are, no matter where they've come from, no matter what they look like. They're always willing to give them a chance and root for them and get behind them and just support them. You know, that's what it is. It's support. And how, from a wrestler's point of view, how can you ask for any more than that? You know, knowing that a fan base is going to be there for you and support you no matter what. That's what you strive for. That's what you do this for. So yeah, it's hard to put into words, but
it is the best feeling though, isn't it? Like when you're coming. I mean, like with them, like when I was here, having them hate me and actually being afraid to walk out the front door at the end of the night, that was amazing because you know that they were that invested in it. But now as a good guy, the love you get from them is unrivaled, man. You know what I mean? Like it is such an amazing feeling. They are a great group of people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the thing is,
Absolutely.
it's always building. You can feel it. Like I've seen it grow, and you know that someone's really passionate about it when they're sort of telling their friends or their family members about it, and you just watch it grow and grow. I've seen it grow, bit by bit, and when you get someone coming to a CPW show who's not even really a wrestling fan or not even seen any of the wrestling apart from CPW, that's so special. You can't take that for granted. You can't. You just can't. It's hard to explain because that's just so special. You don't get that anywhere else. Everywhere else in the country, they're wrestling fans to begin with. They're fans of WWE. They're old school wrestling fans, and then they want to give it a chance, so they go to their local wrestling show. Whereas if it's CPW, it's through sort of word of mouth, and they're going along. We've seen fans. We all know fans have gone to their first show and they've said they don't know what to expect. They've never been to a wrestling show before. They've never seen wrestling before. And then they go to their first CPW show and they're instantly hooked. That's so special. And that's what we're, as wrestlers, that's what we're in this for. Try and hook people, and to try and connect with them. Again, it's back to drawing emotion from them. Excitement, passion, anger, love, hate. It's all emotions. And yeah, to get to that point without even being a wrestling fan, that's what wrestling's all about. That's the beauty of wrestling. That's the art of professional wrestling.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I mean, I think one thing right now that goes to show that is one, the interaction we get on this show, but also the interaction that's on the Galaxy page when we do the pay-per-views or the tape or the pay-per-views or the box office shows. Like the interaction we get on a live show as if they are there, they're commenting, they're even chanting along. I mean, I think I looked back a couple of weeks ago and someone posted a video of them in the living room and they were like shouting at the TV screen and chanting at the TV screen. And I think that like goes back to what you said, Will, and shows just how invested the fans are and how far beyond they're willing to go, like to show their love and support for what we do.
Yeah,
definitely. We have got a couple more questions. Sorry, I need to throw through these before we get over to Dale. So Dale's sitting there waiting patiently.
Dale, I keep seeing Dale go back to his piece of paper and crossing off the questions that are being
I
asked.
know, bless him. Martin wants to know who would be your CPW Survivor Series team.
There's another one off Dale's list.
Sorry, Dale.
Well, Survivor Series team. So what's that? Five members?
Yeah,
nowadays.
So in a Survivor Series the Survivor Series team, you want a little bit of everything. You want a bit of speed. You want a bit of power, strength. You want stamina. Because it's last survivor wins. I'd have in no order. I'd have to go Bashby because he's got the youth, the stamina, the speed. So he checks those boxes. I'd probably go Tomby because he never quits. He leaves everything he has in the ring. And again, that's what you'd want on a Survivor Series team. Someone who's just willing to never give up and just stay till the end, fight till the very end. That's Tomby. I would have to go with Morris because he's very good at adapting to other people's styles. And that I think that would be important in a Survivor Series match.
Mate, talk about stamina, Morris, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, at the academy, I've nicknamed him the Beast because he is a cardio machine. We've had someone else in CPW called the Beast, but didn't really earn that nickname.
No, certainly did not.
I think Corey earns that name a lot more. He is a beast. There is no stopping him. Again, he would last till the very end. I would go Mr. Richards because, again, you go into war. Who else would you want in a fight to have your back no matter what? You're talking about loyalty, courage, going to war, going into a battle, into a fight. That's Mr. Richards personified. He ain't backing down from anyone. So, how many is that? 4? So one more.
Yeah, one more.
Oh no, that's you. No, yeah, you got yourself in, yeah.
You have yourself, wouldn't it?
Do I have to have it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say Dan Evans because he's the Hall of Famer. He's the all-rounder, the all-round wrestler. Again, you're talking about adapting to other people. You don't know who you can be in the ring with. So I'll say him.
You've named your team. Now name the team who you're going to be against.
But if anyone could do that for live series, you pick the easiest people to wrestle against.
No. Yeah, well,
come on.
No, but pick a team that you think, okay, we're going to go to war. These say you got to go for the same sort of people to mirror the people you picked. All right, Nathan, I know what I'm doing here, mate. It's not my first rodeo, mate.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'll just pick the easiest team.
Yeah.
That's just not fair, is it?
With a team like that, you can face anyone. That's what you should say, bro.
Oh, Mr. Logical over there, Lee Simmons.
Drinking his Stella.
Christmas beer.
Well, Dale, should we go over to you? There's some more questions, but I don't want to take all the time away from you and all your questions.
Well, I was thinking if we finish off the YouTube questions and then we'll have a break and then we can go back to the wrestling. Let's break it up a little bit in between.
A break? What do you think? We're going to the adverts?
Yeah,
we'll do some other stuff.
All right.
Wrestling.
Okay. I thought you were on a break there. You know what I mean?
Lee always needs a toilet break halfway through this, so he might need another toilet break.
Yeah, I've had a lot of alcohol in this, so a toilet break might be needed.
I won't remember mine, so it's all right.
Coventry Pro Wrestling wants to know, how has Will found the transition from being the man to being back amongst the shuffle?
A lot of pressure, to be honest. Not that I'm saying that's a good or bad thing. That's just what it is. But when you're the lineal heavyweight champion, when you know you're going to be main event in every show, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. There's a lot of weight on your shoulders. I felt that instantly. Again, not saying that that's a bad thing. I like that pressure. It helped me evolve, helped me grow, it pushed me to be my best. But as soon as I dropped that pressure went, and that. I mean, to a certain extent, obviously, again, being a head trainer, being a guy that a lot of people say they look up to, you're always going to feel that pressure. You're always going to want to perform and be your best because you want to be that measuring stick at the end of the day. You know, you're professing a certain way to be, a certain way to act. You always want to follow through on that. But you feel like, there's the weight is on someone else's shoulders almost. I guess that would be the biggest difference. I don't know. I think it's more about how the rest of the roster reacts to you. And how they're gonna sort of react to you now you're not a champ. It's interesting to see. You're gonna get more challenges. You're gonna get less challenges. You're gonna have certain people think that you're easy to attack now, because you haven't got that bout, that main event status. Do they want to take advantage of that? So yeah, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. What I would say, I mean, being the lineal heavyweight champion comes a lot of responsibility, and a lot of pressure. That's the main difference, man.
I like it. Where you say about how the roster feel about you, I'll tell you how I feel after this next question, tell you the truth, Will. Dream match. Now, if I'm not in this dream match with you, so Wes wants to know, dream match for you. If it's not me and you in a bra and panties match, I'm going.
I'm sorry, but if he means dream match of like anyone, any wrestler of all time, then his answer is going to be Ric Flair. And no offense, Ric Flair beats you all day long, Aaron. Sorry.
Nathan, no one's speaking to you. Be quiet.
Aaron, why in the name of Jesus do you keep trying to push this fucking bra and panties match? No one wants to see it, bruv.
I want to see Will Starr in bra and panties, mate. If you don't, that's your problem.
Not you.
Every week he would message me saying, "Are we going to practice bra and panties match this week?"
Seriously. And you've not done it. I mean, what more can I do, Will? You know what I mean? I drink your juice. I drink everything. I lap up everything you give me.
I haven't done it because there's not that much of a demand for it, Aaron. I've got to be honest.
You'd be surprised. Wes is up for it. There we go.
Me and you,
Maybe Wes could be the ref. I don't know. That's what
see
it. Okay, let's just swing on.
I just want to quickly mention, obviously, I know Aaron's going to do the questions. We're talking about matches of people that you could have wrestled who don't wrestle for CPW anymore. And Wes has mentioned a good name in Ethan Silver.
He did wrestle Ethan Silver.
But I was thinking he did wrestle Ethan Silver. Did you wrestle Drew Parker?
He did.
No,
he didn't.
Was Ethan Silver at the
GSW? I wrestled Ethan Silver in a triple threat match with Tomby in a cage.
Yeah, that was that match that Tomby talks about all the time.
I believe that was my first ever CPW match.
That was your debut, Phil, I believe. I believe.
Yeah,
I was going to actually speak to you about that, but looks like they beat me to that as well. So
hang on, did anyone just notice that Dal called him Phil?
No,
he went Phil,
Sorry.
and I was thinking he's covered that up really well, but I'm not letting him get away with that.
Well, he's always the champ, and I do call him the boss every now and again.
Yeah. Like Arn Anderson, the famous words of Arn Anderson: "You don't have to be champ. You don't have to have a championship bout to be considered championship material."
You're always the champ to me, well, mate.
Sexy. Aaron, you got any more questions then?
Yes. Emma Neenan. Emma Cross. How shall I be called? I don't know. She
Hello,
wants to know. Hello, Emma. If you had to pick a mixed tag with you involved, who would it be? Who would you pick, and who would you go against?
A mixed tag match.
Yeah, so you got to pick your partner and your opponents.
Well,
I
my
think she's-
partner would have to be my real life partner, Lauren Starr. Who else would I want to go to war with other than her? I mean, there's no one else who I would think would have my back more than her.
Hence,
And would work
Yeah.
as hard as her.
Yep.
So yeah, she would definitely be my partner. And our opponents,
I wonder if she's pushing for.
yeah, I wonder if she's is that a bit of a challenge? Cross family, Emma Cross, James Cross. That would be an interesting match. I mean, yeah, it's happened at Superstars. And we came out on top then.
Oh,
You did.
very good.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've got many people you could face. Yeah, Emma Cross, Morris.
Keith,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, me and Morris have had a long history. We all know, Morris and Morris, whatever they're doing. So yeah, that'll be an interesting match.
I would.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Definitely.
I've got
That's
no
what,
more
that's what
questions.
she's getting at. That's
She
what
is,
she
ain't she?
wants.
She's throwing down the gauntlet. She's throwing down the challenge.
I
there,
think she's
and we
throwing
are,
out challenges here, but
and we are known as the matchmakers on here.
We have, mate. We always had a match last week that we made.
We made that match. So that was the last question, but I just want to finish on this, and this is to you, Lee. Kiara has said she'd watch me and Will in a match. So there you go.
I mean, there's other questions here, Aaron. I feel like you've missed one
yeah,
from Wes at the end.
Oh, Wes is what? Wes, I have a bra and panties match in the making.
I thought you said we had like 4 or 5 questions.
Above that, yeah, there's quite a couple of questions here that I think
Where's
Aaron's
Steve?
just
Hold on. Nathan, you
I wanna
told
know
me
what Wes is
earlier to
saying.
sort of like, cram it down a little bit on the old questions, and now you're having a go at me because I'm not answering everyone's questions. Mate, you can't have it both ways, mate. You can't have it both ways, mate. You can't have it both ways.
That's not what I said.
You know what I mean?
didn't say that.
He did, everyone. Trust me.
Anyway,
Private messaged me.
carry on.
Wes
Stop
wants to know,
arguing.
what do you think of our women's division?
What the fact that he's the creator and the
Wow, so he says.
that's what he thinks.
Right.
Yeah.
he wants me to put him over. Is that
As
what
much
you-
as
No,
I'm
no,
the
I
cre-
think you just put the division
I
over.
think
Put
he's
the women
amazing.
over. Fuck West, put the women over.
I think he's doing an incredible job. That's what he wants to.
Love you, West.
That's what he wants to hear. Doesn't
No,
necessarily-
no, seriously. I mean, I know it's something that we've worked very hard at. Is like a vision that me and Mr. Richards had with our academy. We wanted to create a women's division, a homegrown women's division. I think we're definitely getting there. We're on the right track. Well, I mean, we're there already. You look at the talent that we've already produced. A lot of young female talent is coming through the academy at the moment. It's something that we take a lot of pride in. We've worked hard for. It's something that we wanted to create. And then it always helps when you can get the outside talent from all over the country to come in. I want to be a part of it. Want to help grow the women's division of CPW. Like I said, it's not happened by accident. It took a lot of hard work by everyone involved in CPW. I think it's great. I think women's wrestling in general has come so far the last few years. Obviously,
It has definitely grown in CPW though, isn't it? I mean, like when I started, like it was mostly like out of town, like and they were great, don't get me wrong. There's some people like, Athena Fiore, fucking what's it, Lizzie Styles, fucking some great women, but now there's so many more like from calf that are coming up through the academy, like you say, and it is really good to see that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's it all comes from, I guess, don't know how to word it, but it's wanting to create an atmosphere around the academy where women feel they can be important, they can strive. There's a place for them. They're going to be a focal point, you know. They're going to have a chance to express themselves and fulfill their potential. And again, that's for me as a trainer. That's what it's all about: helping people fulfill their potential. You know, it doesn't matter what gender you are, where you come from, what background you are, how old you are. If you want to be a part of our family, then you're welcome, and you're going to be given the best chance possible. And it's we want to create a reputation where young women feel like they can come along and train and be given a chance and be seen as equals. You know, again, I don't see there's any difference. You know, male or female wrestling, it's all the same to me. A great worker is a great worker. A great wrestler is a great wrestler. That's the end of it. You know, I think the bar is always being raised at CPW. Like I say, we're getting a lot of homegrown talent now, and with the help of outside talent, bringing in the best around the country, to help the homegrown talent, I think is a great blend of that. And it's look, you've only got to watch the shows to see, you know, how important they are and the mark they're making within wrestling, not just CPW but within wrestling. You know?
Definitely. I said this previously as well, like backing up what you said, Will, there. Like, if we go back to when me and you first started, and obviously Dal being there from day one, you know, you'd only have, you know, the one women's match on every so often. Nearly every show, but not always every show guaranteed a women's match. Whereas now, you know, we could have 2 or 3. We have the Lioness show, which is a show dedicated to the women's divisions and the women's wrestling. You know, that shows how far it's come from when we started 6-7 years ago at CPW to, you know, what CPW has now. And again, you know, we all started in the academy, you know, 6-7 years ago. We were in the academy, and there was no women in the training academy until Athena joined, and then, you know, and then we go to now where we've got 6-7 young females looking to make it in the wrestling world.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it from my point of view as a trainer, as the head trainer, I mean, you know, it's great when I can look around the room and see that, you know, it's half and half. We have, you know, just the same amount of there's women in the room as we have men. And personally, I push them just as hard. I don't see why they can't be just as good. They can't push themselves just as hard. They can't be as good, you know, physically, athletically. You know, it's all the same to me. Like I say, a great wrestler is a great wrestler. And I push them just as hard as I do the men. It's all about equality, and you see that, like I say, when you watch the shows, they're having the standard of matches that they are, you know, and it's just when you see how far women's wrestling's come, just in general, you know, on in wrestling in general, you can see.
I completely agree with you.
So,
Aaron,
last question. Yeah, last question before Nathan gets me in trouble, because he's good at that. It comes from Wes, and it says, have you ever wanted to quit wrestling, and who or what stopped you quitting?
I mean, I did take a break from wrestling. I took was about 4 or 5 years out of wrestling. I started training when I was 17, and I think I stopped when I was about 20. It was about 3-4 years I was in the business. Just because I couldn't dedicate myself to it as much as I wanted to. I just wasn't in a position personally, financially, that I could dedicate myself to it as much as I wanted to. And I took a break from it then. And then when I came back into wrestling was a few years later. And that's when I started with CPW. CPW formed, was created, and that suddenly there was a home for local wrestlers, for aspiring wrestlers from Coventry. And it was finally I found a home for myself. And before that, like I said, there wasn't a lot of wrestling around anyway, and it was almost like if your base didn't fit, then you were pretty much out of the picture. And it was a bit of a struggle. So I wasn't wrestling very regularly, and it was, like I said, didn't really have many mentors around me. No one really took me under their wing. So it was a bit of a struggle. But I wouldn't change anything. I'm very happy with how everything's worked out. I take a lot of pride, like I say, being a head trainer, being in that role. I feel like that sort of fits me the best, because I put more pride in that than anything else, than my own personal career. So I wouldn't change anything for the world. So, but in terms of quitting wrestling, because I did take that few years out, and a lot of things changed over those sort of 4-5 years. The British indie wrestling scene in general really took off, became a different place. Boys that I started out with were like mega stars, really famous, and it was a completely different scene. But like I said, CPW was formed and came along and gave a home to guys like myself, and I've just sort of worked hard to become a part of CPW, become a trainer, and I'm thankful for everything, for every opportunity I've had that's been given to me. I've run with it, and I'm just really happy with how everything's worked out.
No, I mean that's good to hear. I guess all the fans be happy to hear that you no time in the future plan on walking away or having a break or leaving CPW. So I'm guessing that's good to hear. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to let our guest Will Starr take a short break. Top of his whiskey, drain
we'll
the
be
dragon.
back after these adverts.
Us four are going to stay here. We're going to come talking the madness, and we'll be joined back again by Will shortly. Once he's topped up his whiskey and done what he needs to do. But it's been good so far. We appreciate Will being here so far, don't we, guys? Learned a lot about his career so far.
Such a humble person.
Absolutely.
Yes, he is.
Absolute quality guy.
Well,
Always
my drink's empty. Any chance of a refill?
What we'll do then, guys, it's just us for the moment. So, Dale, have you got any questions left for Will if he comes back?
If he comes back, listen, I've got about 4 pages there, mate. To be honest with you, I ain't getting through all.
Hell, I got my 40th soon.
We're in for a long night. Okay, well, we've got some questions left.
But the fans have took a lot of them, which was good. So as they
So we're down
they
to
always
3
do.
pages.
And we've still got the game
just
to play.
3. Well, yeah, exactly.
Game to play. Well, I guess we'll do our normal things then. Aaron, what's your pointless information this week?
My pointless information this week is actually aimed towards none other than our host, Lee, actually.
Right.
And I found somewhere for you, Lee, at home, because Indonesia is home to some of the smallest, shortest people in the world. Did you
Is
know
it?
that? Yes.
How did I know? It was going to be like a colony of midgets or something like that. You know what I mean?
A colony of midgets.
A trolley of alcoholic midgets. That's what you think.
Average adult there is around 5'1".
Hey, I'm big tall. I'm
You'd
fucking moving. I'm
be
moving.
a giant, mate. You'd be a giant. You'd walk over there and spread
Hey,
it.
Man,
At least you go there. You'll be a giant, mate.
I'd be in
Just
the
don't-
supermarket, yeah, and somebody would be like, "Could you get that off the middle shelf?" I'm like, "Yes, I can."
but don't go.
Blasted. Not the top shelf, and I went fucking.
You definitely need a ladder for that.
All I'm going to say, Lee, is don't go to the Netherlands because their average height is 6 foot.
But Amsterdam's like my mecca. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What?
Moving
go
on
there
then.
for bingo?
Moving on. Wes mentions, there's no space talk tonight. He sounds really sad about that. Unfortunately,
Well,
Wes, there's always space talk. What are you on about? It's talking madness. There's going
Let's
to be
do it,
space
Dave.
talk. So I've
Let's
got
do it.
interesting.
Spaceman.
I've got interesting alien / space talk this week.
Let's do it.
Interesting. So in 1972, right, NASA launched a map into space to help aliens find Earth, right?
That's why Independence Day happened,
Right.
mate.
Hang on. Obviously, 50 years later, what they've done now, NASA, they've sent up a new map, making it easier for aliens to find Earth, to find us, right? They've done an updated map of the galaxy, the solar system, to allow them to navigate to find Earth, right? Now, this is what got me interested in this article that I was reading, right? Is what made them originally in 1972 send that map up there. Like you don't just send a map up into space for no reason. Like there's got to be a reasoning behind it. Like again,
wait, weren't ET out in the 70s? Weren't ET out in the 70s?
When was Roswell? When was Roswell?
ET was out in the 70s, weren't it? So yeah, that's what it
ET
was.
phone home.
ET had to get his boys to come pick him up, so he sent out a map, and that's how they came to pick him up.
Well, there you go.
So Roswell was in
explains it.
Roswell was 1947. So unless it took them 30 years to make a spaceship to send it to space, I don't know.
Yes, you don't know how long it takes.
Can I just
a paper aeroplane? It'd probably take a fucking while to make a spaceship, mate. You know what I mean?
Lee, ET was at 82, mate.
Well, all right.
It's not 70s, is it?
But it gets you thinking. Yeah, in 1972, right? People weren't so like, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't know. I was about to say something really intellectual then, but it doesn't work for me.
Well, that's not going to happen.
No. But what I mean is, like, in 1972, like, people something had to have happened for them to go, hey, there could be aliens. We need to send a map up so they can find us. You don't just send a map up for no reason. That's what I'm saying.
Roswell was 1947.
That's what I said. And I said it could have taken 30 years to find a spaceship, build a spaceship, because obviously technology back in the 40s, 50s, 60s wasn't the best.
Yep. And still, on the 70s one and an up-to-date one, there were still roadworks on the M40 in England.
But now they've got sat-nav. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Turn right at Mars. You know what I mean? It'll be sweet.
I would like to
does that
imagine,
sound posh?
you know, like if you have sat-nav, you can change the voice. Just imagine aliens getting close to Earth and they can choose a new setting and they go with that Aussie guy.
My movie, Brian Blessed.
It's fine.
Brian Blessed.
I always have the Aussie guy on. He's hilarious.
Brian Blessed, that man's brilliant.
Yes, he is. Yes.
He's the only guy that. He's the only guy that actually punched a Arctic polar bear in the nose.
Okay, that's something to be proud of. You shouldn't be punching bears.
No, he was camping in the Arctic Circle on some sort of like charity walk, and he popped his head out of his tent, and there was an Arctic bear, like polar bear, like trying to get in. So he just turned around and punched it in the nose. Thought it's the only thing you could do to get rid of it.
That's fair
Right.
enough. As long as he's the sort of person just to go walking around the Arctic and stuff.
Oh no, mate. Yeah, you know what I mean. Just
You know what I mean?
picked a penguin up as well. You know what I mean. Threw it in there. You know what I
Not
mean.
pizza penguin, not the nuts
Also,
on a
you drive.
podcast, you bastards, yeah.
You drive, Aaron. Have you ever put the Aussie guy in your sat nav?
I always go. I have to go with the man because the woman really she sounds like she's about to throttle me.
The Aussie guy makes me laugh. Whenever you reach a destination, he goes, "Wind up those windows, don't let the seagulls steal your chips." And I'm like, "It's winter here, mate. What seagulls are stealing my chips?"
And
you
I'm
try to say
saying,
because
ain't letting no one steal his fucking chips.
I'll be like that. You saying because I'm fat, I've got chips or something. What you trying to say? It's just fatism or
Right.
what?
That's enough of us talking about this. That's enough of space talk this week and Aaron's useless fact. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is once again back. Here is Will Starr.
Yes.
I forgot he was here.
Yeah, me. Sorry,
When
Will.
he wasn't, he went on a
Well,
break.
he wasn't here, was he?
He went
was
to
on a
top of his
break.
whiskey. He topped of his whiskey and now he's back. Here he is.
Legend.
He's
Oh,
back.
look at him.
You enjoy your wee, Will.
Yeah, my dog's been annoying. Attention.
So I reckon we've got two choices. We either go straight at Dale's questions and continue with the wrestling talk, or we have a bit of fun and then go on to wrestling talk.
Bit of fun.
A bit of fun.
Yeah. We ain't getting naked again,
I
are we?
think you should do your job as a host and decide what we do.
Anyway,
that's why I'm not at the table.
Well, I reckon we play a game then, and let's just change it up in the world, and let's play a bit of a game with the sensei because he is the sensei, so he could probably beat us all. Or we have to let him win, or we'll probably just have to do more squats at training for beating him or something.
Well, that's guaranteed if you beat him.
Yeah,
I think we should play the game because otherwise I'll be far too pissed later. So let's play the game now.
Not being funny, Lee. You're no good at the game.
So, for those who've never joined us before, we thank you for joining us. We like to play this game every week, which is a word association game. Dale is our referee, as always, when it comes to wrestling and the games.
Why is he the referee?
Huh?
Why is he the referee?
Because I'm rubbish, mate.
Because he doesn't understand the game. He doesn't understand the game. He doesn't get it.
It's because I'm rubbish.
But every week there is a lucky prize for the guests to win, and that is a picture of one of us hosts. Aaron always has the picture, and it's a picture from our past. We never know what the picture is going to be. So, Aaron, what is Will's prize this week that he could win? What is the picture this week?
Well, this is even better. Not only do you win a picture of the person, but you get to go on holiday with this person who is actually at this place at the moment. So if you bear with me, Will, I am going to pick up your picture. Bear with me. Might take me a few minutes. And here it is. There you go. Look. You get to go to Paris with this beautiful person. Any guesses who that is?
Is that Nate?
Yes, it is. It's our beautiful
Have you
Nathan.
got the original photo? Have you got the original photo?
Might well do.
Put the original photo without the Paris thing because you can't see the detail in
mate.
the awesome outfit.
I can't see that at all.
Why don't you see the detail in it?
Because
Okay.
Alex, that outfit's amazing. It's a one-off.
It ain't,
original.
mate,
It certainly is, Nate, mate.
it's more than a one-off. I've got to find it now. God, you do want blood from a.
Cat Von Cage has joined us, boys and girls.
Hey, Cat.
Oh no! Hold on, that's not the one. There it is. Look at that.
She says that she never got a prize. We can confirm that anyone who's ever been on the show, we have sent the photos out to you. So blame the Royal Mail.
Yeah, don't blame us, Cat.
Or anything, just blame Aaron.
What are you blaming me for? Listen, I do my bit. I'm not at the table.
You want to look at the pictures.
That's Fifi before Fifi ever existed.
Fifi existed in the womb, mate. Let's be honest. What happened then?
Now, well, you can have this one, or you can have the one that I always say, like, who's ready for a night out? And you go, I am. Who likes the pizza? I do. Who's going to pull the boy behind me? I am.
Dude, I need to really remove some of these photos from my Facebook page.
Yeah, you really do.
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to because they're amazing. They have all this fun in them.
Oh, goodness sake.
Wow. Okay. Dale, do you want to explain the rules and we'll get on with the game? Obviously, the current winner, the current leader at the moment is Sugar Jimmy Vice, the exceptional one.
He is exceptional.
On 12 points. Aaron, stop putting photos up of me now. It's getting really annoying that you just keep putting all these photos up.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sticking with this one.
That's his Blink 182 picture.
That is a really old promo photo. I'm not going to lie.
I think I was there when that was taken.
I didn't even know when I'd do that gimmick.
I do.
Some promotion that I'm not going to talk about.
Shocking behaviour.
Anyway, let's go. Dale, explain the rules and let's get on with it.
Right then, Will. If you're ready for this. Basically, it's a word association game. Yeah. Somebody will say a word. You have to say something that's associated with it. Goes back and forward. You're not allowed to say the same word twice. There's no hesitation. You've got 3 seconds. If you don't answer, then the other person wins. If you win 2 out of 3, then you win. You go on to the next person, and you get points for every game you win.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, is that pretty much it?
And the game is called You Suck.
It is called You Suck. That is what the game is called.
Wes wants to know if VAR is ready. Yes, VAR is always ready.
VAR is ready because we had to use it quite a lot on the last go.
Aaron, stop finding photos of me and replacing them.
I didn't, mate. It's just they pop up every now and again.
Right. So, are you ready to play the game, Will?
I think so.
Right, so basically, you get against against Aaron, against Lee, against Nathan. You'll get 3 games. Either way, you're playing 3 times.
Do I have to be the quickest to answer?
Well, they'll say a word, and you'll go first. So say Lee says a word, you have to say a word associated with it, and the person you're playing against is just what goes back and forth.
We go one after the other, mate. Yeah.
Go on, then.
I think that's what I just said. But I appreciate you making that a bit clearer for me, Lee.
Okay.
Well, mate, don't worry about it.
Right, who's he facing first then, Dale?
Right. So, I would say you're going to be facing Nathan.
Yeah.
And because you're the guest, you will go first. Okay? Word association.
Who? Who's going first?
You go first.
You're going first.
All right.
Okay? So one of the other guys. Pardon?
Will is going first.
Will is going first as the guest. And one of the other guys will give us a word. You have to say something associated with it, and it'll go back and forth to you and Nathan until one of you either hesitates or takes longer than 3 seconds to answer. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Okay. Right. You ready?
Yeah.
I think so, right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then. So, Aaron, give us your word.
Well, because we've been putting all the pictures up there, I'm going to start with bromance.
Nathan.
Will.
Fifi.
Amazing.
Amazeballs.
What? No.
What is that?
Oh no!
What?
Oh,
Amazeballs is a word.
I know it is. It got me.
So.
I don't know what to say to Amazeballs.
It's not in the dictionary, but it's a word that people know. So
I think it's on the Urban Dictionary, so it still counts.
So
right, anyway,
is that 1-0 to Will then? Right, then, Nathan, so you suck.
Yeah, I suck.
You suck.
You-
You
You
suck.
suck, Nathan. You do suck.
Yeah.
Right, so that's 1-0 to Will.
Okay.
Right, so it's Nathan to go first. And Lee, give us your word.
Phone.
Cool.
What?
Cool. Phone. Cool.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Will, man.
Where can you go from phone call?
That's
Oh, I
what
don't
you
believe
phone
it.
for. Take calls.
Answer.
That means Will
Right.
sucks.
We'll go to VAR. Well, yeah, we'll say that, but I will go to VAR. Does my response count? VAR.
It counts. Yeah, it's fine. I suck. Whatever.
Okay. Use that then. Right, 1-1.
Right, 1-0. Okay, so Will to go first. And your word is wrestling.
Will Starr.
Champ.
Lineal.
Number 1.
Cleo.
Evil.
Dark.
Tomby.
Fifi.
CPW.
Galaxy.
Fans.
Support.
Not Newcastle. No, I'm joking.
What? What are you on about, mate?
Ah.
Get out of here, Nathan, man. Get out of here. You suck, man.
You suck.
You do suck.
Sorry, I just had to there.
You do suck.
That's 4 points to Will then, 2 for the rounds and 2 for the overall victory. He's on
Wow.
4 points now.
Right. So
Jimmy Vice is not happy.
Jimmy Vice
No,
is
Jimmy Vice says it's match fixing, but I don't know what about Jimmy. Got any proof?
I don't know what he's talking about. Playing by the rules.
Yeah.
Right there, Will.
He's just upset that you could match him.
Yeah, or beat him, of course. Right. So.
I've got an A level in English, so
Oh, okay, then.
Right then.
That wins
so,
it.
I dropped out.
right then, Will. Right. So next you will play Lee.
That
Okay.
should be easy.
So best of 3. Will, you will go first, and Nathan, give us your word.
I'm going first.
Yeah, you're going first.
You'll go first, Will. Nathan, come on, man. It's all right.
The word
I mean,
is football.
Arsenal.
Shit.
Oh, you got him there! You got him there!
I don't believe it. Oh,
Lee
Lee's won
did
again.
it. Lee, you're doing like extra
My
laps.
God.
and
No,
extra, like,
That's not right. That's not
the
right.
win.
That's not right because Arsenal and shit have no connection whatsoever.
oh, do we need to go to VAR on that one?
We need to go to
Sorry.
VAR.
VAR's going to agree with Lee.
VAR. VAR.
Let's get the box out.
VAR.
Draw the box.
We go to
VAR.
VAR.
We're going to
I want
VAR.
Arsenal shit. I want Arsenal shit.
Lee,
Great
who do
win.
you support?
It doesn't matter. I just
Uh-oh.
knew I'd stomp you with that.
There's no
Here we
connection. No. There's no connection between Arsenal and shit. None.
Right,
VAR's
Coventry Pro
checking it.
Wrestling. Who are VAR? Will wins the point.
Will wins the point.
Will wins the point.
Oh,
Oh,
Coventry Pro
sorry,
Wrestling
Lee, man.
agrees.
I quit. I quit.
VAR. Will wins the point.
I quit.
Wow.
No
Wow.
connection. There's no connection.
I quit.
There's no association apparently.
There's
There you go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
There you go.
Right
What?
then, so Lee, I'm sorry, mate, but that's just the way it goes, my friend.
You suck, Lee. You suck.
You do
Matt.
suck.
Suck, Lee. Lee sucks,
Right.
I know.
Right.
Lee's
So here we go again. Lee to go first. Aaron, give us your word.
I am going to go with whiskey.
Nice.
Jack Daniels,
And Coke.
Pepsi,
Ice.
cold,
Warm.
hot,
Toasty.
butter.
Bread.
Oh.
No, he can still get the maximum points though.
Oh, here we go. So last round. Will to go first. And your word is Tottenham Hotspur.
Shit,
Tottenham.
Poo.
crap,
Toilet.
dirt,
Foot.
shoe,
Bastard.
Oh, there you are, Lee. You
By the
suck.
way, whilst you're playing that round, VAR were looking at the previous round. We don't know why, but VAR was having a look at the
Yes.
previous round.
Hang on.
VAR.
Could not be connected with shit when they haven't played amazing this season. Why can Tottenham Hotspur be connected with shit just because you don't like them? I think that's just bias.
because they have never won a trophy. When was the last time they won a trophy?
Oh.
Well,
Anyway.
we're just waiting on a VAR anyway.
2-1 to Will.
They haven't done anything. They haven't won a trophy. They haven't done anything. They're shit. At least when Arsenal are playing badly, we win an FA Cup. 2020 FA Cup. Not shit. Tottenham,
Right.
shit.
So, Lee,
Mm.
it was the result we had was 2-1. However, Commentary Pro Wrestling, aka VAR, have established that Will was the winner of leg 2 as well.
Oh!
Oh, wait a minute.
This is bullshit. How?
So we're saying it was a 2-0.
It's 2-0.
How?
And technically, he says Coke doesn't count, so it's 3-0. You completely got whitewashed.
How does Coke not count?
JD
Boss.
and Coke, there's absolutely no connection whatsoever.
No, yeah, exactly. Come on. Boss, come on. This is
Anyway.
favoritism, and I'm not happy.
Anyway, Lee, you suck. Will's on
You
8
suck,
points.
Lee. Yeah,
Oh,
you have to-
no, that's it.
No, wait a minute.
Coke. If you said Coke, that would have been correct, but you said and Coke.
He said Jack fucking Daniels.
2
And
words.
Coke is not a thing. And
He
Coke is
said
not a
Jack
thing.
fucking Daniels.
Jack Daniels is a word, though.
Jack Daniels is a name. It counts.
No, man, it's still
Lee.
2 words. Jack
Lee.
and Daniels. 2 words.
No, it's Jack Daniels
Oh, the
and
Umpa
Coke.
Lumpa's
You
gone
didn't
on
say
one.
Coke. Anyway, you lost. You suck. Good night. See you later. For 8
Right.
points now, Will's
That's
on.
some bullshit right there. That's some bullshit.
Go back to
You'll-
Indonesia.
You'll have to speak to the VAR on this one, Lee.
It's
Go
all right.
back to
We'll mute him
Indonesia.
for now. Let him rant to the camera. We'll
Yeah.
mute him.
Hey, don't do that too. He's got to give us a word in a minute.
I've unmuted him now. Hang on. I can't unmute him.
Nice.
What's going on?
He's muted himself.
He's muted himself. Look, what have you done to him?
I've broke him.
He's
Anyway,
a little Indonesian boy.
come back when
last,
you're ready, Lee.
So it's the last round then. Will,
What's
last
that,
round.
you bastard?
Last round.
What?
Right, R2D2.
You're facing Aaron,
One.
right? You're facing Aaron. You to go first, Will. And Lee, give us your word.
Bullshit.
Crap.
Steamy.
Hot.
Cold.
Icy.
Snow.
Cold. Ah.
Oh, yeah, repeat of words.
Oh, you can't do that. You
Repeat
can't
of
do
words
that.
there. Unlucky,
can't- it's-
Will. You
you
suck
can't
on
do
that
that.
round there.
Frey,
One
I'm
nil
sorry.
to Aaron.
You suck on that one.
I
Well,
need
as
a
much-
I'm afraid.
As much as I love you, Will, I can't lose this game.
Place.
New merch for Dale this year. R2 Dale.
What?
Because you keep sounding like R2D2, so we're gonna get a T-shirt with R2 Dale on it.
I think you've been drinking, Nathan. What are you on about?
I've
Does
had
anyone know who?
I've had
Does
strong
anyone know who the Zap Band are?
the Zap.
Zap Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Dale sounds like tonight. The Zap Band.
Tell you what, I don't know why you got it in from me, Will. I mean, I have been honest to you today.
Hey, I like the Zap Band.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment then.
No, because I don't like you, but I like the Zap Band.
Listen to it. I don't believe him. Unbelievable. I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, let's go on to the next stage of this round.
Carry
Come on,
on. Hurry up, because I'm getting bored.
Right.
Come on, Dale. That means you hurry up.
Well, I'll wait. Right. So, let's go. Aaron to go first. Nathan, give us your word.
Okay. Elbow.
Greece.
No.
Oh, no.
Will's at it. Will, this round has not gone well for Will here. He's lost 2-0.
2-0 to Aaron.
I'm beyond caring.
Oh,
See what you've done to him, Nathan, mate. See what you've done.
oh
Don't
Nathan.
do anything.
Right.
Well,
So that's 2-0.
Don't know what happened here. Anyway.
That's 2-0. That's 2-0 to Aaron then. So what's Will's score at the end then?
8.
8 points. So he doesn't go top of the table, but he's not in last either. So it's okay.
Tremendous. I suck. Let's move on.
Right. Dale, over to you then. Let's continue with the questions. Let's get about Will.
I'm not quite sure about that. I mean, the Will's
R2D2's
not in a
back.
good mood to me tonight. So I don't know about that.
Right. Dale, show some professionality and just ask the questions.
I am professional, thank you very much.
Can't even sit up. What you want about?
I am sitting up. Just for you. I didn't want you to have a go at me for not sitting up straight.
Right.
Right,
What we
go on
got?
then. Right, go on then, Will. Right, so we'll go back. We talked about your debut in 2016. That cage match with Ethan Silver and Tommy. Do you remember that match?
I do.
Did you remember why? Because strange to have somebody in a debut in a cage match.
What?
Do you remember why you were brought in for that match?
I don't remember
Why
what I
you
was
were brought
doing.
in for that match?
No, I don't. You tell me, Dale.
This is good. This is going to go well, isn't it? Right.
Because I was doing well in training, I guess.
Well, I'm just saying. It's just we wouldn't normally bring someone in for the first match and stick him in a cage. But
I think the whole show was with the cage up, wasn't it? I think every match was a cage match. I showed some promise as a trainee coming in. I was still trying to work the ring rust stuff. And I don't know. That was the match I was putting.
right. Okay. Then. So, like I say, you started 2016. I didn't realise you'd been for us that long, to be honest with you. But you have. Right. So a couple of matches that I'm going to pick out from that run. You had a match. You say you matched with Brandon Thomas. Now I've got it here down for November 2016. It was a qualifier to face Robbie E. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Anything about that?
Yeah, I faced Robbie. Yeah, I remember facing him. was a triple threat match with Danny O'Neill.
At the Express Bash, that is correct.
Yes.
So again, so do you remember working with
I'm
Robbie and with
passing this
what I was
test
like?
with Gillis.
Wait, well, I'm just trying.
Good quiz questions.
I'm just trying to see. Do you remember working with Robbie? What it was like to work with?
Yeah, he was very cool to work with. Don't have much to add to it.
Were you
Right,
with
okay.
CPW from the beginning?
So
Were you with CPW from the beginning, or did you come in?
No, he came in 2016.
Right. That's sound. So, had you seen it before? Had you seen anything from it before?
no, I completely detached myself from wrestling. It was the only way I could cope. To completely detach myself from it and not know what was going on. I actually just found out because a kid I knew wanted to become a wrestler, so I searched for local training schools and stuff, and that's how I found CPW. I wasn't really looking to get back into it myself. I just came along and saw everyone else training and got the book for it again and just came back into the fold.
How long
Wait,
have you
wait.
been a trainer? 'Cause, I mean,
So
how long have you been our trainer? I know it's been a while, but I remember having guys train us before you. But you've been the longest trainer that I remember having. So how long's that been?
I don't remember years and dates and stuff. I'm really bad with stuff like that. I've got a really bad memory. I don't know.
Probably about 2000, late 2017, I think it was, or early 2018.
Yeah.
I think, going back in my head.
Go on, Dale. Sorry, mate. I'm taking all your.
No, mate. I'm just right. What's gonna say? Yes. So my first memory of you is at the Bakery Banking Suite, and I was wearing an Oasis T-shirt, and you started going. I don't know who you were with. You were with somebody. You just started shouting Oasis, Oasis. I've never really spoken to you, and that's what you started doing because I had the Oasis T-shirt on.
I like Oasis. To be fair,
Great
so
man.
I probably liked you because you were wearing an Oasis T-shirt.
Oh dear me.
A few words, aren't you, Will? Fucking hell, mate.
I don't remember that, Dale. I've got to be honest. I don't remember that.
Will doesn't remember a lot of things, guys. You have to remember this. Like, you're telling Will this information, and you have to go.
Yeah,
okay.
guys, I'm really bad with dates and specific times and years and stuff like that. Again, I can't. Like, this is a serious thing. It's not even a joke. Like, I've been hit in the head a lot. Like, I've been hit with a lot of insecurities. It's no joke. Like, yeah, and I'm drinking a lot of whiskey right now. So,
So Dale, I think we get to the important questions. I mean, we've only just want to let everyone know, if you've got any last minute questions for Will Starr, please get them in. We have only got about 15 minutes left tonight for the first episode of Talking Madness 2021 ends. So please get your last minute questions in. Dale, what's the big question you've got for Will? Then?
I'll go to some of the important matches that you've had in CPW. You had a match at the Experts Bash with Dan Evans in 2017 for the Next Gen Championship, which was the first championship that you won. So do you remember anything about that match?
Yeah, I remember. What privilege it was to work with Dan Evans. How he was at another level to anyone else I'd worked with before. I felt like I had to step up a lot before the match, during the match. I felt the intensity of it. I felt the investment from the fans was at another level because he was at a certain level that I'd not been at before. And believe that was when Isaac Quinton cashed in on me. He had the golden ticket and he cashed in on me straight after. And he
Was
beat them.
it was that was actually 2018. I was going to get to that one.
Wow. Okay.
That was when you were facing Seth Skylark. Seth Skyline when you were the champion at the remember the Superstar show with
that was
show?
when I worked when I beat Dan Evans. That was when Mr. Richards counted to 3.
Yeah.
Yep, and that was the first sort of, I don't know if you want to say, encounter I had with Mr. Richards. Feeling the fans' investment in that, just because Mr. Richards was involved. Obviously, he had a past with Dan Evans, and I was right there in the mix. And it was just it was another moment in time that I'll never forget. I do remember it.
So I'll get to that match with Seth Skyline. That obviously that you were the next gen champion. You were successful in that match, and then Isaac Quinton cashed in. So do you remember? You remember that? What it was like to be cashed in on?
Yeah, I remember, because it was a lot of different emotions. Obviously, beating Seth Skylark, I remember beating him with a small package. It was a very close match. Obviously, he'd gained a following. He created a certain amount of status within CPW, and Isaac Quinton, a guy that I'd sort of took under my wing and trained at the academy, for him to come in and cash in on me. Yeah, it's a different range of emotions, because you think you're done for the night, you've won the match. You think you can go home, still the champion, and then all of a sudden it gets taken away from you. And that was a big turning point for me in my career.
Is that what you're thinking? Like, you cheeky bastard.
Yeah. Obviously, me and Isaac Quinton then went to history for the Next Gen Championship, which was huge for us.
That I mean, at the that was at the oh god, I forget what it was called. The place that we did that match. It was a British rules match. You remember?
Yes, it was a British rules match. First and only time it's ever been done. So history made. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the World of Sport rules matches and the old school. Obviously, I'm a very traditional guy. I'm a student of the game, so having a British rules match meant a lot to me. Isaac Quinton is a very intelligent guy. He's a student of the game himself, so I know it meant a lot to him. It was him that picked that type of match, and I had to match him. I had to prove that, as intelligent as he thinks he is, he's still not the teacher. I'm the teacher. He's the student. So yeah, that was a big moment in my CPW career. And it was one that proved to be a stepping stone. When I look back in my career, that was a big moment for me. That history match. I remember Mr. Richards and Tom Lindsay being in the main event, and I remember watching that match after I was done with my match, and that was where I sort of looked at Mr. Richards and I thought, yeah, I want a piece of that. I want to go to that next level, And
you want to be in the main event.
Yeah, and he'll remember that as well, because I remember telling him that. I think I called him out on a promo not long after that match. But it's like, okay, I've felt like I've gained a following here in CPW within the galaxy. I feel like I've made my mark, and I want to take myself to the next level now. and I feel like I can progress to that next level. I can progress to what Mr. Richards and Tom Lindsay done that night. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I know what you mean. I mean, I was looking for what you did after that. Some of the matches that you had afterwards. I mean, you faced Tom Lindsay in the semi-finals of the Rule of the Galaxy tournament. If you remember that.
Yeah,
and
I remember
you
that.
faced him semi-final match. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? What that match was like?
Yeah, it was interesting. Again, it's just about pushing yourself. You know, every match you have, you want to show what you can do. It's a showcase. You know, you want to prove to the galaxy how much passion you have, how much you want to push yourself to that next level. I do remember that match. Again, like I said, Tom Lindsay's one of those. He'd be on my Mount Rushmore of CPW superstars. So you know that what he's achieved in CPW, I hold in high regard in terms of longevity, in terms of being there, done that. You know what CPW stands for. It meant a lot to me to be able to be in the ring with him and prove to the CPW Galaxy that I belong on that level.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I say not long after that, you went on to become the CPW heavyweight champion when you faced the Beasts at the Xmas Bash 2018. I imagine you might have remember that match.
Yeah, I remember it.
Anything you'd like to say about it?
It was a lot easier than I expected it to be.
Smile.
I remember that. I'll always remember that show because that was my first debut roster as well on
Really?
CPW. Yeah, yeah. It was
What
the
was your
mixed match.
impressions? What was your impression?
Of you or of the match?
Everything, yeah. Me, match.
Well, watching you in the ring, it's just like awesome for me because your technical work and how you move around that ring. You made him look so slow anyway, but then you make everyone look so slow the way you move in the ring anyway. Will because you're just so like lightning quick. Like 1 minute you've got them in an arm bar, next thing you know you've got them down on the floor, and you're just thinking like, oh man, I just blinked and missed that. So to watch you in the ring anyway was awesome for me to watch. It's watching you train and then watching you in the ring as well. It just all fits together for me. So I don't mean to like blow you off or anything. You know what I mean? A little bit. You know what I mean? I was, weren't I? But you that match was awesome for me because you were in it. You know what I mean? Who else? Who's the other guy? I can't even remember his name. You know what I mean? So leave it at that, shall we? You know what I mean? You just got Will Starr, and that's all you need to make. So, but yeah. You said you talked about. Sorry, Dale. I just want to quickly. You were talking about World of Sports Wrestling. I was brought up on World of Sports Wrestling in the 80s, and who was from the World of Sports of the 80s? Who was the person that you looked at? You sort of hooked you into the British style of wrestling.
I mean, obviously, Dynamite Kid was a huge part. I mean, he evolved wrestling on the whole. His time in Japan, bringing that British style to the world. Rollerball Rocco, his matches as Black Tiger, again, showcasing what British wrestling can offer to the world. I mean, obviously there's Dave Boy Smith, British Bulldog. Marty Jones, I think is great as a student of the game to watch. And
Dynamite Kid was always one of my favorites, and that's because you're the one that told me to watch him and watch his stuff, and it's because of that I did. And now he's one of my favorites. I love watching his stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain matches and certain moments in time that um, sort of force the entire wrestling world to pay attention to. And the Dynamite Kid and Tiger Mask matches are just way ahead of their time. And you can't really put into words what they've done for the evolution of pro wrestling. Just two guys willing to push themselves and to do something that's never been done before. I think Dynamite Kid and Tiger Mask were just perfect guys at the perfect time, and yeah, they really meant a lot to the history of pro wrestling.
See, for me, it would have been Pat Roach. For me, he was a local guy as well, and I still watch his matches now. I'll go on YouTube and watch a lot of his matches and a lot of any matches, on the British wrestling scene, because it just reminds me of that growing up and that's the first time I got that drug of wrestling, really, before like the WWE kicked in to the British scene.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the world of sport is the world of sport and the British wrestling. They really enforce the rules of pro wrestling, and it's called a world of sport. It is a sport. It's not. It's more of an emphasis on the sport than the entertainment side of it, and that's the side that I really respect, and that I sort of lean into the sport side of it rather than the entertainment side of it, because I'm just a sports fan in general. Obviously, we've talked about football a little bit. But yeah, I just think it's important. And, Dale being on the podcast tonight, he knows how important it is to enforce rules. And, that's what connects to fans. Again, coming back full circle to the start of the podcast when I talked about drawing emotion from fans, it comes back to the rules and what the sport of pro wrestling really is at its core, and that's I think world of sport captures that. Wrestling has never been bigger in this country than it was back in those days of world of sport and being on ITV, and you can put pro wrestling on ITV today and it won't connect as much because the rules aren't as enforced as they were back in the day. There's something to that.
Well, they tried it, didn't they? They tried to bring back the world of sport.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The rules are a little bit relaxed, and you can get refs that aren't as strict on the rules nowadays. And it doesn't connect with the fans as much. There's something to that. There's something about that. There's a reason.
You mentioned world of sport. I've got Martin and Drake Winton saying, obviously, they're talking about world of sport here, saying that if you talk about world of sport, you can't leave out the guy like the likes of Johnny Saint. And Drake says that he loved watching Johnny Saint and Fit Finlay.
Oh, Fit Finlay was brilliant.
Yeah. In terms of, again, having my trainer's hat on, if you want to learn how to go from A to B, Fit Finlay is the guy. It's how to connect. All right, you want to start off the match, you want to work a guy, you want to work on a guy's wrist, you want to work on a guy's arm, but then you want to sort of transition into your finish. You want to really start finishing the guy off to where you can beat them. Fit Finlay is the guy that you want to study for things like that, how to transition from just going from A to B. That makes sense. He's a guy, and Johnny Saint again. He's a big name for when you're inside the wrestling business. He means a lot. His influence within the business has been huge. You know, again, those transition from A to B. Yeah, it's hard to explain. It's hard to put down, but it's something that, as a trainer, you know, I try and teach. I try and tell guys to go and study. And obviously, Lee, what you said earlier about, you know, how you watched Dynamite Kid because I told you to go and watch him. You know, that means a lot because it's important that these guys are respected and that no matter how old you are, how you got into the business, what you grew up watching, that you go back and study these guys and understand their importance within the history of the business. You know, that's huge. You know, that's what leaving a legacy within this business is all about.
Wow, there you go.
There we have it.
Well,
Awesome.
there we go.
Anyway, Dave,
From
what
the
was you
sensei,
going on about?
from the sensei himself.
You were talking about my CPW career, somehow.
Always
Sorry,
talking
that's my fault.
talking about your career, mate. I mean, obviously, like I say, you've won the CPW title, and you've gone on from there, and you obviously have that match with Mr. Richards in the prison to unify the championships, be the unified CPW champion. So for you to go within a couple of years and to be put into that spot, how was that for you? How did you feel to be able to be put on that pinnacle and that mantle, being the top guy? How was that for you?
Before the match, I felt like I was ready for it. I felt like that's what I deserved. I felt like I'd put in the work to be put on that level, to be on that level. And then, you know, like I said, going into it, it was like something I'd never experienced before. Again, so I won the CPW Heavyweight Championship off the Beast. That was no problem, really. That was just easier than I probably expected it to be. All you had to do with him was just go beyond the 10-minute mark and you were home and dry. But then once Mr. Richards enters the ring, whether it didn't need to be a match, just a promo, just the intensity, being in the same ring as him with the Galaxy, the CPW fans, the Galaxy behind him, and the investment that they had in him and all the years that he'd put into his legacy. It was just a whole nother level, you know? You just know you're going into a war. You know you're going into an epic sort of showdown that that you have to raise your game. You know, there's just an intensity that Mr. Richards bring that I try to carry on. After him, I never forgot that. I never forgot the intensity that he brought, the main event, the big fight feel. You know, it's almost like boxing. You know, when you go into, you know, when like back in the days of like Mike Tyson, you know, he just had that big fight feel. It's almost like when I beat Mr. Richards, I had to make sure I brought that same intensity. That he brought, that he made me feel. It's like I said, it's just a measuring stick, you know.
That match that you had with Mr. Richards, that was the first CPW match I remember where it was, you know, a split crowd. You know, where we know when it was Rock and Hogan and Rock and Cena, yeah, and it was a split crowd, and that was the first match I remember at CPW that was completely split. It was fucking let's go Will Starr, Mr. Richards. You know, it was fucking. You could see the passion from the crowd for that. was brilliant. And I you know, I only hope one day I'm in a match that has that kind of fucking passion, man, from the crowd. It was
Yeah,
great.
I mean,
Back.
yeah, it's like you know, I take pride in you saying that because it was hard to achieve that level, to be honest, very hard. And you know, Mr. Richards has a following like no other, so to be able to match that was incredible, and I'll never forget the CPW fans for giving me that feeling. And knowing that I could step in there with the best of the best, the guy who had more history with the CPW fans than anyone else. It meant a lot to me. And yeah, like, you know, going back to talking about when I knew I had the fans hooked, you know, that's the level that I've always wanted to be at, that, you know, that I strive for. So to know that I achieved that, that's what I wanted from my CPW career. So it's about trying to maintain that. You know, it's one thing to sort of achieve that on one night, but then to try and take that on to the month after that, and the month after that, and the month after that, to try and make sure everyone that I stepped in the ring with feel the same way that I felt when I was stepping in the ring with Mr. Richards, you know, making sure they felt like they had to step up to my level and like give them that feeling like, oh shit, I'm in the ring with Will Starr.
Yeah.
Like I need to step up my game, because that's how I felt. I was like, oh shit, I'm in the ring with Mr. Richards. I need to step up my game. I need to make sure I'm bringing that same intensity that Mr. Richards is bringing. And I felt like I did do that. I hope I did do that. And you know, that's what wrestling's about. You know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, before I could carry on, is there anything on the YouTube that you want to tell us, Aaron?
Yeah, just got, you know, people just saying about they remember it. Jimmy Vice said his first show when he arrived at CPW was Will Starr versus Mr. Richards in the cage, title versus title. What a match and an honour to ref it with Dale. I too remember that. I was doing security that night for that show. We've got one of your trainees of past is watching, Lucia Lee. She says, William and Nathan. I've never heard anyone called you William before. That just is weird.
No.
William and Nathan. Hope you both have a great new year. Good to see you both podcasting. Send you both all the love in the world from the Black Country. So that's nice. Nice to see you on here watching us, watching Talking Madness with us.
Send all the love back. Send all the love back.
So that's really it. That people just talking about the shows, their first shows, and Drake Winter says one of my first CPW shows was against Will. I felt the intensity and the pressure. So yeah, they say everyone's loving it. Richard Woolwood, for someone who doesn't know Will Starr, it's nice to hear his views and thoughts on wrestling as a whole. He sounds very humble person in general, which I think we've all said that tonight. Well, like Will is actually the most humblest person we've had on here.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's very, very, very humble.
Well, you turn into Vicky. You turn into Vicky Pollard, then. Yeah, bro. No, bro. Yeah, bro.
I was going to say, but yeah, he whenever you're going to have a match with him, like, yeah, he's I was still really, really new, and he scared the shit out of me. You know what I mean? I was like, you know, so we talk about it, you know, and he was like, nope, shit myself. You know what I mean? We just got to go out there and do it, you know?
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah, shit myself. But yeah, it was good.
But no, everyone's Nathan's fell asleep.
No, my internet crashed. I just came back. Sorry.
Oh, right, sorry.
My internet crashed. I'm just trying to find out what's happened and fix it.
Right. Anything else, Alan?
Basically, what's happened, Nathan, is I've been carrying the show.
Well, that is true.
Oh, funny
Nathan
man.
sacked and
And
Will's
everyone's
in
been
the hot
hanging on to
seat.
my every word.
As always, Will. As always.
Oh, I love it.
Always
Love
hanging
it.
on to your words, Will. We are. But no, that's everything from the world of YouTube.
Right. So like I say, so you've got the unified bouts. You had a couple of matches that I remember with JJ Roberts, and you're talking about bringing people up to your level. I felt when you had their matches, that's what you did with him. You had to bring him up to where you were. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, JJ Roberts is, it's always interesting when you have that big man versus little man type of dynamic and story to tell. It's always, you can always guarantee fan investment when they see one guy who's, double the size of their opponent. And that's what we had with JJ versus Will Starr, He was a much bigger guy than me. Obviously, he hadn't been in CPW as long as me. He hadn't had the following. He was coming out of a tag team at the time, and he was sort of trying to make his mark as a singles wrestler. And he went off after me as the newly crowned unified heavyweight lineal champion of CPW. And I felt like he brought it, he brought his A game. And that's what I strive off as a competitor. I want people to bring their A game. I want people to bring their best. And we had some great matches. We had 2 matches that, again, it's always an uphill struggle when you're facing someone much bigger than yourself, much stronger than yourself. You've got to think a lot more about how you're going to approach the match. You've got to be more strategic. And I think it was a very compelling story for the CPW Galaxy to follow. And it proved in that how invested they got in the matches. And again, coming off the back of those of that match with Mr. Richards, it was important for me to show myself to be the man, the main eventer. That I wasn't going into this as the underdog necessarily. I was the champ. He was trying to step up to my level. So I had to bring a certain level of intensity to show that, which I felt I'd done. And, yeah, I mean, it was just crazy how much the CPW Galaxy had my back from that moment on, You talk about the first moment that I had them hooked, I felt the CPW Galaxy were fully behind me throughout the whole time, which was great to experience. Something I'll never forget.
Yeah. Well, again, going on to that, you went on to History 2019 to step in the ring with Rene Dupree. I'm sure that's a match that you remember. So what would you remember about that match? What's the kind of thing that you did you learn anything from Rene when you stepped to the ring with him?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was just what independent wrestling is all about. You've got the local guy, the local champion against the world renowned, the sort of former WWE prodigy in Rene Dupree. And I just felt like I was representing Coventry, but I felt like I was representing independent wrestling as a whole at the same time. That I wouldn't let this sort of outsider come in and take what we've achieved as a promotion, as a city together. You know, I felt like I was representing that as a whole, and I felt like I was representing the CPW Galaxy. You know, and it's hard because, again, you know, we talked earlier about Robbie E when he came in. He was a guy who was known from his time with TNA. He was a guy that was on TV every single week, national TV, international TV every single week. And it felt like he was, because he was a well-known star within wrestling, within the wrestling industry, he was like the fans would get behind him, and to get to a point where I was facing Rene Dupree, who was world famous, yet the CPW fans were still behind me rather than him. That was a big stepping stone for me. That was a big sign in the fans' belief in me as a wrestler. That the fact that they were willing to get behind me rather than him, you know. Yeah, that meant a lot to me, because they followed my journey. They felt more connected to me than they were him. If that makes sense.
Was that a match when you were colour coordinated in the ring as well?
I was about to say that.
They were, yeah.
They both wore white. They both wore white.
Yeah. I bought special gear for that night. I wore white trunks, which I'd never worn before, because it was a special night, and I thought I'd try and stand out. And then I got to the ring and found out that Rene Dupree was wearing white trunks, just the same as me. And, yeah.
You keep mentioning these, obviously these matches where obviously Rene Dupree, James Roberts and stuff, where you've had to, you know, you feel a different type of pressure each time. Like if it's, you know, bringing someone up to your level or having to go out there and perform to a certain level to know that, you know, this is the benchmark, or like you say, having the pressure of going up against someone who's world renowned, but all the fans believing in you, but still having to go out there and put on a match every time. Do you have anything like a routine that you go through, or a way that you psychologically get into the mind frame to go out and do those matches?
I think, to be honest, I try and take myself back to how I felt going into the match with Mr. Richards, because again, that was my proving ground. That was the match where I felt like I really had to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of try and take myself back to that moment and how I felt then, and try and match that. Yeah, and because I think that's the highest. That's sort of the peak within CPW that you can feel, you know. So I try and take myself back to that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Back to you, Dal.
Well, right. So I'll say this. So you went on and you faced a guy called Steve Valentino. If you remember that match.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, that was it. CPW versus the World.
Yeah.
So how was that for you?
Well, I'd faced Steve Valentino a time before that outside of CPW. So I sort of knew what he was all about, to be honest. And I knew he's a very good wrestler, very competitive in the ring, high level of intensity. So yeah, it was just trying to, but at the same time, CPW was my home. I felt like it was it was him trying to step up to prove himself within the CPW galaxy, which he'd done very quickly, to be fair. Again, that comes down to his talent and his years of experience in the ring. It was a really intense match. And I'd love to face Steve Valentino again. It was just, yeah, my main feeling about that was it was very intense.
No, fair. Like you say, everyone you wrestle brings something different, and obviously, like you say, he's very intense wrestler and brings that to the table when you're facing him.
So I want to quickly go into obviously the Superstars project that you are so proud of, that you've helped produce such great talents at the CPW project. Now, what I particularly want to go for is when you had that the 6-person tag when you were tagging with the Starr squad.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that match? Because actually go out there and watch these people, these young girls that you'd help train, and watch them get in that ring and do what they did. So how were your feelings during that match and after that match?
Just extremely proud, kind of circles back to what we were saying about women's wrestling in general, the fact that they could hold their own in a main event match, that they could just have the crowd in the palm of their hands throughout, and to be a part of that myself, I just felt very honored, to be honest. Just, yeah, again, in terms of being a trainer and training other guys, I feel more proud.
Oh, mute yourself.
Don't know what happened there. Sorry. I do apologise.
Did you try and mute me?
No, I don't know what happened there. I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry.
Bang out of order.
That was accidental. I don't know what happened there. I was sorting something else out.
Conspiracy.
Sorry. Carry
on. Yeah, so I just felt very proud for them. And I take a lot more pride in my trainees' careers than I do my own. So for them to be able to achieve that status was just one of the proudest moments of my career, to be involved in that.
Okay.
No, I mean, like you say, there's a lot of youngsters that have proven themselves in the Superstars and coming up out of that Superstars and keep going. Like you said, to be in that match and to watch them do what they did, and and especially at the age that they were, a lot of people even at our age can sometimes feel the nerves and make mistakes or feel the pressure, and they went out there and smashed it. And that's credit to obviously the training that you do, the training team as well, but also to them as youngsters and just going out there and doing something that they love.
Yes, anyone that's been on the Superstar shows and now performing, I feel they have, a lot of thanks to you, Will, because if it weren't for you with your ideas with Mr. Richards about this Superstar training, we wouldn't have got this stepping stone into this world of wrestling. I mean, I only came to do a bit of a training to get myself fit, And it was you and Mr. Richards sort of like saying, "Oh, you need to do this superstar wrestling. You really enjoy it. You really enjoy it." And I remember coming back out from my first match, and you stood there, and you were like, "Are you okay? You all right?" And I was like so buzzing that I just wanted to go back out and wrestle again, straight after the match. So for me, I want to say thank you, Will, for giving me that opportunity as a trainer to this insight of wrestling that I've loved since I was a kid. So thank you. So I'm going now. Bye. Only come on, say that. I've been waiting all night to say that. Exactly.
Right, so
yeah.
I think we need to probably pull Aaron's tongue out of his arsehole for a minute, and then if we just no, I agree, mate. He's a great trainer, but I think we need to wrap it up. I think we need to get to the end. So,
All right, Dad.
It's getting late. I've got a bedtime. I've got work tomorrow. I'm already 10 beers down. I can't have too much of a hangover for work. So, like, if you can, Will, just like because you are the longest reigning lineal heavyweight champion. That was a hell of a. How many days was it, lads? I'm sorry. How many?
555 days.
Fucking ridiculous. Can you just tell us what that's like to be that much of a bad man? You held the title for that long, yeah? Just what's it like, mate?
Intense. That's the main word I can use for it. Just intense. It's just again knowing you have to be the measuring stick for everyone else on the card. That you have to make sure your opponent isn't going in there just another match. To make them feel like they've got to step up their game to their next level and push them constantly every single month. And again, it's not just every single show. Being a head trainer is every single week. Sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. It's just a lifestyle. It's not something that you act on. You've got to live it. You've got to be it. You've got to. It's about creating that lifestyle that everyone else has to live up to. If they want to achieve the best, they want to achieve the highest level that CPW has to offer, then they have to outdo you. They have to outwork you. And that's something that you can't switch off when you go to bed at night. You've got to be it 24/7. And it takes a lot of dedication, takes a lot of hard work. You can't take it for granted. It's creating a culture, I think, is the word that I would say. Culture.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, you've said it. You said it earlier in the podcast. You had a lot of trainers before me, but they probably didn't create a culture.
Like Aaron said, honestly, mate, with wrestling, I owe so much to you. Like where I am now, like 1/2 of the tag champs, yeah, I owe that to you. My any stuff that I've learned and that from you, it's stuck with me a hell of a lot more than other trainers before. And yeah, mate. So yeah, thank you.
Well, I mean,
he's got a tongue in his ass.
No, well, I'm just sort of jumping off what you said, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I mean, it comes with a lot of the unseen work that goes into being a trainer, being a head guy, being the main event guy. Like when I first took over, there was some training sessions where only 1 or 2 people turn up, but at the same time, you've got to give them 100%. It just creates that culture that when you arrive at CPW, you have to give 100%. and anything less is unacceptable. And then you become the best that you can be. You fulfill your potential. And it's something that I don't take for granted. You know, there's some days where you don't feel like it. You're a little bit ill, or you got other things, outside things going on. But you know what? You turn up to CPW, you turn up to wrestling, and you give you 100% focus all the time. And it forces everybody else to be their best. And that's the culture that you try and provide for everyone else. That's what I've taken very seriously. You know, I've had sleepless nights coming up with training sessions and watching other people wrestle and thinking, okay, what can they work on? What can I help them with? And it all ties into becoming the main guy, the lineal heavyweight champion. You know, that's what it's all about, being that measuring stick. So, yeah, it's just that level of intensity that no one else can bring. That's what you've got to provide.
And you do provide it. Right. So it's before we do go wrap this up. Anything else on the YouTube, Aaron, that we for Will?
No, gone quiet now. I think everyone's just listening in and just enjoying Will talking and not hearing Nathan talk. So, really,
I'm going to say, I think everyone's just sitting on those words, you know, those wise words there.
Yeah.
The words, very, very wise words to anyone who's listening that is, you know, on the current roster or a superstar trainee. You know, those words travel and mean a lot because, you know, he's telling you, you know, exactly, you know, how it felt, but what it takes to be in that position. And anyone would be stupid not to listen to those words and take them on board. In that sense, I'd say.
Yep, definitely, absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Wow, what a night it's been.
Definitely.
It's been
what
emotional.
a night.
It has definitely
been emotional.
Been a journey.
You know, what a night! What a night we've had here. First Talking Madness of 2021, joined by Will Starr. Has been amazing to have you on. You know, we thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
You know, you've enlightened us all. You've shared a lot of information with us, information that I personally take on board and really, really appreciate those words and respect those words that come from you, especially in regards to the position I'm in at the moment as well. What are you eating?
Yeah.
Just throw me right off there. I just see him eating.
Malteser.
Is that a Turkish delight?
Malteser. Oh, roses.
Heroes.
Heroes?
They were heroes, weren't they? No. Roses.
Chocolate, yeah, Cadbury Roses box.
Roses. But anyway, but no, it has been a pleasure. We thank everyone for watching and joining us tonight. Thank you for all your questions.
Thank you.
Will,
yes, thank you.
Yeah, you've been awesome as always. You are the chosen one for a reason. But we thank you for joining us, everyone. Again, like we said, this has been Talking Madness. This Thursday, we will have Next Gen Wrestling Moonlight with Chantel Jordan versus Shorty as the main event. And just like that, Will has gone.
Right.
Just like that, he's out of here.
Bye, Will.
Bye.
And remember this Wednesday, we'll also be releasing the CPW Labyrinth to be the guest next week here on
Look forward to that.
Talking Madness. So we don't know who the guest is yet because they've got to win the game.
But will we know beforehand, or is it going to be a surprise for us on the night?
I want it
Who
to be a
knows?
surprise.
Yeah.
Let's speak to CPW management.
I think it should be a surprise on the night.
I'm up for it.
But guys, have you enjoyed having the chosen one on?
Yes.
I've loved it, even though he's that pissed he's had to fuck off now. I've loved
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Absolutely.
He's obviously he's not a drunk.
He's had to go. He's like, sorry lads, I'm gone. You know what I mean?
He's not in the Naomi drunk category yet, but
No,
you know,
no. I mean that's difficult to get to, isn't it?
that she is winning Caner of the Year. You know what I mean? So
everyone, thank you for watching.
yes,
Thank you,
feel blessed.
everybody.
Thursday for the first Moonlight of 2021 and the first Team Madness Tavern.
And the first CPW show of 2021.
That's what I just said.
Well, yeah, I know, but you weren't going there, was you?
Absolutely.
And the match between Shorty and Chantal Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. Main event already announced.
Also, me getting to find out what that weirdo Cleo drinks in his goblet. Let's find it out.
Along with little Susie.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not even going to say anything to her because she scares the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We have been your host, Aaron, Dale, Lee, and Nathan. Thank you once again for joining us here on Sunday evening for Talking Madness. Take care, and here is to a better 2021. Thank you.
Amen to that. Thank you.